is. Yeah, I don't remember that much.
Ooh, OBS is being goofy. All right. Crap is going on? There we go. All right, so I'm gonna say something real quick, just so I get an idea if this is working correctly.
Good evening.
I suppose it is. All right. Music. All right, so everything that was mentioned is correct. We're inside the Borderlands in the lower Hearthlands, sorry, the lower Winterlands of Rastalon on the western side of the continent. And you currently find yourselves, you have left the town of Lenga that is now trying to rebuild itself from its partial demolishing because of the worm that also involved a bit of the dwarven undead skeletons, and then dwarves themselves, which are helping out the town because they feel that their ancestors was part of the problem, the undead horde that came by and attacked all the townsfolk. They're gonna go ahead and help Linga as best they can before they head on back to wherever they came from. Now, because of the events that occurred in town, all of you were looked at with a bit of untrustworthiness. You are outsiders, and with all the bad things happening that kind of coincided with you approaching the town, you were kind of informally asked to leave the town and let them go back to their old ways. That is very, very distrusting of outsiders. So, you have left the town, and a couple of talks. You acquired a new companion, as the other one, Vanya, decided to stay behind, help out rebuild the town with the dwarves. And your group now, with a journey possibly to find out what this axe possibly means that was found within the dwarven fortress, but also maybe going towards the east to the Hearthnight Citadel. But before that, you've decided to investigate the ruins of the other part of the dwarven fortress that you encountered on the way towards the farmstead ruins, where unfortunately the four townsfolk did perish. You have gotten to that area where it had the smokestack, the chimney that goes down, and you find yourselves on the bottom just after the battle with a group of earth elementals. And that is where we're going to pick up today's game. Not on this map right here, but on this lovely section of the world.
Yeah. I suppose the immediate reaction once the final Earth Elemental falls would be like Soren falling, not falling to his knees, but like hands on his knees as he's like, wow, whew. That was my first real fight. He says as he like straightens his back a little bit, looking to the other members of his party.
Atlas would just like adjust whatever clothing that got possibly wrinkled while he was fighting and just kind of like looks away from him all cool like and goes, he'll get used to it.
He just makes like he gives like a sad look, looking down towards these dead Earth elementals. I don't know if they're sentient or not. Probably, he's not smart enough to know that. So instead, he just shakes his head and says, I hope not. That was rough. I don't like hurting things. He says, like as he looks down at these guys, like, oh man, I guess they're dead now.
Atlas kind of like looks over to him and goes, if you do not like hurting things, then I don't know if following us would be the best choice of action. Because in our path, it seems like we have many enemies that we must give some sort of pain to in order to let ourselves through.
He sort of nods with that and says, you know, that might be true, but sometimes you have to hurt somebody so that everyone else is good and not hurt.
Atlas simply nods before continuing on in the area that they're in.
So, before we actually delve on to the movement, I'm curious what everyone is kind of thinking. What is, since the events that's occurred with the worm, with the undead, with the mines, what's kind of everyone's current attitude, the feeling, and just get a gauge of how everyone's doing. Let's go from top to bottom. Donsta, what's currently going through your mind, either through the events that's been occurring right now, or your current situation being into this cavernous dwarven system, just defeating the earth elementals? What's Donsta's kind of current thinking?
Right now, I'm thinking it has to do with something with Eartha, just simply because everything that has been occurring is with Earth beings, Earth creatures, the undead, which is in the Earth. The puzzle that we had to do was about Eartha and this dwarven king. So I'm feeling like something's up with maybe the alignment with Eartha. So I pretty much want to, I guess, kneel down and pray to Eartha to see if I can reach out to her.
We'll get to you in a
That's
second, Donsta. Real quick, also, Haldir, how are you? What's your thinking? What's Haldir's thought process since all the events that have been occurring?
So with all the events, he's just like super just like confused on what's going on, but like he's just trying to piece them together, and but at the moment he's gripping his torch very tight and kind of like skittish looking around.
All right. Next, how about Atlas?
Atlas is pretty similarly a little overwhelmed with like all the things that have been happening in rapid succession with their traveling. But he's keeping a very sort of stoic expression and just trying to focus in on what's currently going on rather than focusing on the previous that has been going on.
Fantastic. Brusum, what about you?
I suppose Brusum's, equally a tad shaken, but ultimately this is the Earth. He is fairly used to the goings on of the ground. Just carrying on, plodding on.
All right. And lastly, Soren, how about you?
Soren is very exhausted yet stalwart. Would probably be the best description of him. He sees these tasks and tribulations that he's facing as sort of a initiation to becoming a full-blooded knight.
All right. So, we're down here to discover what might be around. Before we continue, I want Donsta to go ahead and give me a common knowledge roll, please.
Any penalties?
I'll put them in retroactively.
Okay.
I'll tell you if you fail or not. You can decide if you want to use a Benny. As is, though, this is a success because it does involve Eartha as well as you being elementalist. So, you do recall a bit of the knowledge of the elementals. Now, they do come from the elemental planes, so in a way they're kind of distantly linked to the gods of, well, Eartha being that Earth. But she doesn't directly control them, and they don't follow her, although they're part of kind of her realm and what she is innately. So these elementals could just be something on their own, or what you could possibly think correctly is that they're not really following any order from Eartha that you can think of.
Okay.
All right. I'm unlocking the map. Don't go crazy. Keep within the confines, and I will pause whenever we arrive at locations that need to be descriptive. Like right now, as you're walking around, we have that little chimney that went up above, but you're now standing on pond. the dwarven stonework. This still resembles that old ancient work that was where the worm, as well as the group of you, found the trapped and the fallen townsfolk. This is one and the same facility, a different part. As you recall, you've encountered 3 different sections now, and every section has been blocked off by cave-ins and whatnot. This is the first part of this stronghold that you're seeing that encompasses actual natural stonework. Like, either was not completely built, finish-wise, or this was meant to be maybe on the outskirts of the dwarven stronghold. You can continue to move. And this kid's being goofy right now. Sure, refresh my screen, see if this helps. There we go. All right. Are we paused? We locked off, or can we start moving? Can you hear me? Is my connection going weird? All right, something that seems to be goofily awful with my connection. I'm gonna go ahead and real quick refresh, because apparently I've been kicked out of Discord twice. So, have I been breaking up for everyone else, or has it been normal?
It's just that moment that you like.
Yeah.
Right. Let's try one more. If I break up again or I disconnect, I will go ahead and just do a reset. But everyone, go ahead and move about with your tokens, and I'll continue. What's the last thing you heard me mention? Talk about, describe.
This was basically part of the same facility, and this is the same stonework as we saw before.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Sean, are you moving, my lad?
I'm sorry, what?
You plan on staying behind, or you plan on moving?
Oh, shoot. Sorry, my thing was like I looked back. It literally just like loaded on 1 second. So sorry. Bing on.
Right, as you're moving a bit to the north, you come across a intersection. The groundwork is innately carved with old dwarven runes and carvings. The roadway does go to the east, to the west, to the south. To the north of you, Bruce Haldir, you actually had to go up a bit of a stone staircase. And since you two are at the top right now, this does go about a meter in height, so about 3 feet. You do see a outline of a door to the north of you too. This is a stone structure. You might have mentioned it. I might have mentioned this from the previous session. But in your immediate vicinity is 2 look like rooms. Both have doors on them, and then whatever might lead to the east, west, and to the south.
Guess we'll have a look through the northern door, if everyone's following, or are we going separate ways?
Soren just.
I don't have any light, so Atlas is gonna follow.
Yeah, Soren just looks up like, oh, we're going that way. Oops, sorry. With all the dynamic lighting, it's a little bit laggy for me.
Brewsome, you put your hand to the door and you push, and it does give away after a very, very brief struggle. Luckily, dwarven architecture is very, very finely tuned to be with ease of movement. And as you push open the door, a bit of the ceiling dust and dirt in the vicinity does kind of drift down lazily. Luckily, no more earthquakes have occurred since the worm has traveled back towards the mountains to the south. And you can see into the room before you. Immediately, you're smelling the smell of old wine. as well as a mustiness that does come from within this room. Again, the ground is covered with a layer of dust and dirt. You don't hear, none of you hear, any signs of life, intelligent or not. It's very, very quiet. Your footfalls actually echo back across to you from the hallways and the immediate surrounding areas.
I would like to call back to anybody with a torch to just stand outside,
Yeah,
while I feel around inside for these old wine caskets.
Brewstone, go ahead and give me a athletics roll, please. I'm sorry, no, give me a agility roll at -4.
That's not how you do that. There we go.
Right. You stumble and you fall to the ground because you're walking in there with no damn light. I'm not going to give you any fatigue, but you're walking to a place with no illumination. Keep that in mind, please.
Yep.
All right. Haldir walks in with a torch. You're seeing the old wine barrels to ahead of you. On the ground, which you tripped over, Brewsome, was a bunch of old broken down casks and kegs. Haldir, you see what looks like a couple of old wooden cots. But these are actually a little bit larger than dwarven, as they are almost around 3 meters or almost 10 feet in length. Someone very, very tall. In fact, the room ceiling in this place does accommodate about 4 meters in height, or 12 feet, I would say, in height. It's a very, very tall room. There's a bit of a bench that is a little bit to the south, and as mentioned, there is a bit of kegs. This looks like this might be a old meeting room or a waiting room.
Could I roll common knowledge to have a guess as to what this place?
Absolutely. Go for it, Bruce.
Who might have been? Yeah. Basically, why is this room so big? Okie doke. Just a regular old waiting room then.
You hear like a shout in from like the outside of the room. It's like, "Is everyone okay?" After like the presumable crashing noise of like you falling.
Yes, there's just a few kegs on the ground. Watch your feet.
Yeah.
Soren, do me a favor, roll me 1d20.
Amazing. We'll do it. /R 1d20.
I do love random dice checks.
When Soren decided to yell about what the occurrence is, you hear, even from inside the room, his echo go down and then come back. Probably the loudest noise so far was when Soren did yell to the group of you.
Atlas kind of like looks back and at Soren and speaks up and says, "Be a slight bit more careful about raising your voice here. Just because it's silent does not mean that we are alone. We have to assume that something could be here at all times."
Yeah, there's like a pause as he now speaks in much more like a voice. Oh, right. Sorry.
It is all right. Just be more aware of surroundings and such.
Yeah. Then presumably he would also follow, unless you guys are leaving that room, which it looks like you are.
Now, to give a note, did anyone want to do any type of searching in that room? I just gave a superficial description. It's up to you to decide if you want to investigate a little bit further.
I figured I wasn't going to mess around with old alcohol, seeing as people with torches. Not after last time.
Might
Yeah, I was
not-
about to say, I remember last time.
It might not just be the kegs on the wall and the old wine barrels, but there could be potential other hidden objects in the room that might be around. But it's up to you as a group. There's letting you know as a
I guess
DM,
I'll
I'm not going to tell you. Give me a perception check. You have to tell me yourself if you want to do a bit of searching, a bit of investigation to see if anything might be of importance.
Yeah. Understandable.
Consta, tell me specifically how dear. Don't go out too far. Tell me specifically where you might be looking, or what you might be looking in general, or specifically.
I guess I want to be looking at the walls, and as well as this pillar. I want to see if there's anything with the pillar.
As you're looking around at the pillar, you notice that there is actually that's been faded over time. There is a lot of small scribbles that is actually carved on the pillar itself, and most of them are actually around the 4-foot mark. But they do go towards the top. None of them really get to the 12 height of the ceiling, and it gets very, very few when you get to about a foot off the floor. But all around the pillar are small engraved markings. And as you're looking, you can kind of tell that it's actually different languages that have been inscribed on the pillar itself, almost like a logbook or maybe even potential vandalism. But you're seeing there is that. As well as your investigation, you do notice on the southern wall there is a unusual grooves that are on the bottom of the ground. That is where the legs of the keg do meet the wall. Almost like this is the only keg that has this feature. Like the keg itself has been pulled away from the wall and back towards the wall multiple times to allow a bit of slight groove marks in the ground.
And you said the southern, right?
Yes. We were talking. It's this one right there.
Got it. I guess I'll go and investigate that a little further before I mention it to anybody.
You see the grooves? This keg looks like it could be moved about.
Do I see anything with a wall? Is there anything disturbed against the wall?
No, but the keg actually sits flush against the wall.
Okay. I guess I'll call over Bursum to see if, with his strength, that he could maybe pull the keg back.
I'm happy to roll strength and find out.
Don't bother. As you
Okay.
try, Brewstone, it does not move at all. You know by the size, and get a bit of a feeling. Maybe push it from the side, from the front, even trying to rock it back and forth. It does not budge at all. Almost like something is keeping it in place.
Could I roll common knowledge to have a bit of a guess as to what it might be? Be
Go
a
for
secret entrance or just a moving keg?
Go for it.
I know nothing.
You know nothing. Just that, for whatever reason, this thing does not want to move at all.
Down to keg.
I'll probably tell Brewsome that it's probably a lever or a button or something that maybe needs to be pressed for this to be moved.
Alright, any ideas where such a thing may be?
You can go ahead and give me a notice roll if you so want.
Where's my notice? There it is. I assume you want the hindrance removed since you're not hearing things.
Absolutely, because it says nothing to do with hearing.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
Soren?
Atlas is waiting outside with me, correct?
That does seem to be the case. Atlas, are you?
That is correct, yes.
Okay.
No.
He's more kind of like guarding, almost like trying to watch. Even though it's dark out there, he's trying to watch and listen very closely for any possible movement in the area.
Soren's seeing. Sorry.
Sorry, let her finish. Or let Mochi finish.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Because he isn't exactly trustworthy of this area, considering the previous area that they were in was similar to this one, even though it was blocked off, but there were undead over there. So he just wants to like be definite that they're alone.
Yeah.
Because I think the last thing they need is another pop-up.
Understandable. Seeing that you're sort of like searching or like looking into the darkness past his torch, he is going to like approach you with holding the torch, so that you can actually see a bit further out into the darkness.
Without looking at Soren, you just hear him mumble a quiet thank you.
Yeah.
I want both Atlas and Soren to give me notice rolls, please.
All right.
This will be at -2.
Okay. That's fail.
Notice.
Want to use a Benny, Atlas?
I want to see what Soren gets first.
Got it.
I do have a D4. Maybe I'll get lucky. Come on, notice. Like what should I do for -2?
So you see underneath the card, there should be like a modifiers for better rolls. Click on where it says -2 to the trait roll, and then click on roll.
Right. Okay.
All right, that's actually a raise.
That's why I waited.
Oh, damn. Gotta love those wild dice. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I was typing something when someone gave me that message. So whoever gave me that message about, I think it was Dark Vision, go ahead and tell me that, please, again. As Alice and Soren, hold on for a second. We'll get back to Haldir and Donsta and Brewsome. So, who was the ones that actually rolled the significant roll? Brewsome. So when you're looking around, you notice that along the western wall, actually right above the bench that you're currently sitting on right now or standing on, there is a small indentation along the wall. It looks like an artificial brick or part of the wall itself that can be manipulated in some way.
I suppose I called Onster over and kind of gesture at it, say, like this?
Then Donsta, you and Hadir also notice this that Brewsome points out. Yeah, there's a small place that looks like it might be a false part of the wall. It's small. It's only about the size of a fist, so like maybe a brick-sized object, but it's very, very well disguised. But luckily, Brewsome, in his dwarven knowledge, expertise, did notice this.
I'll ask Brewsome if he knows how to manipulate it or deal with it, since he's a use it for.
Well, I would suggest putting my fist in it and punching it.
Use to punch it, Bruce.
I'll let you do that.
Maybe not punch, but kind of push it with my fist.
When you push it, nothing happens. It is very, very well firmly in place.
Do I feel any movement on it at all, or is
When you
it
push it, no.
Right.
Return. Can it turn?
It is rectangular shape, so it won't turn. So pushing won't work, and turning won't work.
I
Maybe
assume
need to
that.
pull it out.
Well, I was just about to say, is there any way I can get my fingers kind of around it to kind of pull it out a bit?
It seems fairly hard to do. Go ahead and give me a thievery skill for fine manipulation.
Oh, well, let me take your thievery skill and give you an untrained.
Go for it. You get your fingernails onto the side, and you start to pull as the way it keeps it in the groove. You almost feel one of your nails give way before the brick itself comes out. And when it does, it's a fairly heavy brick. You pull it out, and you see in behind that brick is actually dangling. You can't see where it leads or where it goes, but it is a actual chain. There seems to be some sort of mechanism.
All right. I think I'll turn to Haldir and ask him to call the others in, just in case, and then gives the chain a pull once they're in.
You guys
Assuming
found
they're
a secret
coming in.
room.
All right, real quick, let's now go to the other group, Atlas and Soren.
So, question: is there a general direction for what you whispered to me?
That general direction does come from the west.
See, Soren pauses. You see his frame go rigid as he looks around and then whispers to Atlas, I think I hear something. As he looks towards the west and says, "There's a howl," and sort of it's hard to describe it, like a mix between a dog making a small bark. It's hard to describe, but I hear it from the west. I think he says he is kind of second guessing himself because this other person didn't seem to hear it, and he feels like they didn't hear it. I probably am just making it up, but also shrug.
Yeah. You can see Atlas. You can see his expression kind of furrow in a combination of confusion and concentration because he is confused on the fact that he didn't hear it. And kind of watching towards the west for a moment before looking back to Surin and mentioning, we should probably make mention of this to the others, considering that if you did hear that, it's potentially dangerous and we should know of all of our surroundings.
Right. By this point, have you guys called us in? By the way.
But at that point, you would hear the call from Brewsome.
Oh. Well, with that, Sworn nods and says, "You go first. I'll be the light, and then we can go in. We should probably block off the door, though, just in case. We don't want anything following us in there."
Atlas kind of gives a shake of his head and goes, "No, we should not block ourselves in a room. We don't know what they may have found in there, so best
Right.
set discuss it with the group and decide where to go in that regards."
Yeah. Sorry. He says this he's pause, damn, kind of dumb. All right. Well, we best get in. He says he is going to follow you.
If you wish to close the door
Can I
behind you,
shut-
go ahead and click on that little icon to close the door.
I look at Atlas first. Can I shut the door?
Yep.
I'm asking,
Alice
like-
kind of looks back and gives a nod. The door is there and functioning, so
Yeah,
you may close
then
it.
I shut it. And as we enter, Soren nods and says, "We heard a noise out there, kind of like a dog howling and then a small bark."
Could be nothing, could be something. Just figured to make mention of it.
Yeah, it was coming from the west parts of these ruins.
Then perhaps this chain I found would take us to a secret room. I say as a gesture of the wall and place my hand upon the chain, but not yet pulling.
Oh, secret room?
Hey, Paul, what wall was the brick on?
Where Bruce was scanning. It's right there.
Okay, got it.
Suppose I ask, ask around the group. Are we ready to see what's inside then?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Atlas just gives a nod while he takes a step back.
Wait. Before we do, Soren's gonna look around the party. There are 5 of us, correct? Including myself?
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
He's going to attempt to cast a spell. I'm going to attempt to bolster our vigor. Okay. And with casting this on 5 people, what would be the reduced accuracy of that?
All right, so I want you to go ahead and finish that yourself. So go ahead and activate the card for Bruce, which you did already. They click on where it says Bruce Lord trait, the little icon. You bring up the card. So the base power point is 2. So what you want the formula is to add up all the power points and then have it rounding up. So base power point is 2. And then activating it on the 4 other companions is the +1 for just recipient, which is going to accommodate a total of 6. Half of 6 is 3, so it's a -3 to the roll.
Just
Yeah,
the heads
so-
up too.
How long does it
That-
last? Because I still have a minor booster vigor from you.
Actually,
Yeah,
yeah,
so
it was from
I-
last session. In fact, I need to put on your owls of the year. Everyone's actual
Oh,
effect.
if
This one
I
I have.
could still be if I could still be concentrating on the other boost vigor, then I'd still
Yeah.
do that. I just don't know how long.
Actually, it looks like everyone still has the effect. So let me actually put it back on everyone real quick. So let's do this.
Yeah, sorry. I was more like I didn't know if it was still in effect or anything because I don't know how spell durations work.
Well, there's no like duration, really, because in here there's no, like I have, like a protection spell that just lasts as long as you concentrate on it.
Yeah. So you can keep the spell
Yeah.
permanently until you either drop it by possibly becoming shaken, or by going to sleep or unconsciousness. We'll drop it.
Understandable. In that case, I would keep it sustained. So instead of you see as he like sort of waves a hand, the magical coating isn't reapplied. However, it is made more slightly more apparent as a like you guys all realize. Oh wait, I'm still under this effect, kind of thing. Is it just you guys get a similar sheen to your vigor, your bolstered spirit? I don't know. But that's basically the gist of it. He's just sort of reactivating. I don't know. Yeah. With that, he looks at the group and says, "Anyone else want to cast anything?"
I guess I could try this again.
Oh, by the way, is there also a shield in effect?
I don't believe so. I've not cast my. I think it's deflection I've got at the moment.
Everyone's got deflection right now. That's what the effect. Does everyone see the effect on the token?
Yep.
Yep, that's the deflection.
Yeah,
Okay,
so everyone's
so
got
we can
deflection
do
and boosted.
I've got minor boost fighting, and I don't remember if I cast that onto the whole party or just myself. And I can't imagine why I would just cast it on myself. So, putting that out there.
I'm not saying no one. everyone right now has the deflection as well as the boost trait, but I'm not seeing anyone with the fighting.
Huh. Because I've got a minor boost fighting additional stat currently.
Oh, do you have fatigue, Haldi?
Yes, but it's not fatigue. It's one of my
Oh.
hindrances.
Oh, because I had sucker. I was gonna try and remove it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
Righty.
All right. I'll make sure to note down where abilities come from next time. But is there any preparation? Excuse me. Any preparations you wish to do before we continue onward with Bruce pulling that chain?
I think Brewsom's all good for preparation. Everyone else is.
Yeah.
Alright.
There's like a nod from Soren.
Atlas, don't stir.
Oh, I'm not casting anything.
Okay.
Yeah, me neither.
Then I
He's
give
just
the-
watching.
Then I give the chain a sharp pull in order to try and move it.
When you get that chain a sharp pull, Bruce, you at first have a bit of a struggle, then it gives way, and you hear what sounds like a cog mechanism that does click, 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 click for a couple seconds before you hear a deafening bang, and then something break. And the chain comes completely loose in your hand, and actually falls and grabs your hand, pulls it down. You don't lose your hand at all, but the chain broke from whatever mechanism is at the ceiling of this mechanism. But the actual barrel that is on the southern side does give a audible click, and then it moves forward ever so slightly, a couple of centimeters. To Dunsta, who's standing right nearby, Dunsta, you see this. But unfortunately, the mechanism has been destroyed that might potentially lock you back in place. But this has revealed a secret. What do you wish to do?
Whoops. I meant to whisper that. Whoops.
Can I? Is the chain completely loose, and like, can I take it with me?
It's loose from the ceiling, but not from the ground.
Okay. That's just unfortunate. I guess I'll just leave it kind of traipsing out the hole.
What's the course of action? Everyone.
Suppose I'll make my way over to the barrel and give it another pull if nobody else wants to do anything.
At this point, Bruce, it does easily pull with your strength, leaving a 5 foot or 2, 1.5, 1.75, such a 2 meter opening in the ground, with an actual ladder that does go down into the darkness, and it goes down probably about 3 meters, or actually not 3 meters, about 2 meters, about 6 feet. It does go down. And you're seeing more of a, now not the dwarven work, but a natural carved. You can see the markings where it was carved down, but there seems to be a hidden tunnel that this wine barrel was over.
I suppose I'll look around and say, shall we continue down into the depths?
How big is this tunnel?
Tunnel goes down about 6 feet, and you can see the ground with the light forces you have around you. And it is widthwise about 5 feet by 5 feet.
Okay.
Well,
Gonna be a little bit of a tight squeeze for us elves.
So what would
it
be
looks like it's
considered-
perfectly my size. There's like an awkward laugh from Soren.
Yes, perfectly dwarven.
That it is. It is perfectly dwarven size. In fact, you can see the opening. So it does go towards the south. But the opening that goes to south is only about 3 feet in height. meant for a dwarf.
Will the elves be able to follow us at all, or are they...
They're gonna have to essentially go on their hands and knees, but yes.
Okay, I guess I turn to the elves and say, looks like you guys are cool, and if you're following...
Oh, by the way, Soren is human.
I know, but you're a child.
Understandable.
A small dwarf-sized child. Well, slightly taller than dwarf, but besides the point. Honorary dwarf.
He's still gonna be leaning over. He's still taller than you. So
I knew I should have taken that small trait. Soren like nods towards the group and says, "Well, it's probably best that you lead us then."
Very well, though I have no light. I'll need you to stand behind me.
Soren hands you his torch.
And with that, I have a light.
right.
Yeah.
I'll head down.
So as you head down, there is at first a small amount of cobwebs, spider webs. It gets a little bit thicker and thicker as you go down. When you reach the bottom, 2 meters, 6 feet down, and you look to the south, it's a straight carved tunnel that does go quite a distance. It's beyond the torchlight you have in front of you, but you do see protruding. All along the ground are a lot of fist-sized egg sacs. Spider egg sacs.
I think with that, I'm going to crawl back out of the...
Good choice. Good choice.
I'm going to crawl... Hang on. I'm going to crawl back out of the tunnel, crack open the wine barrel next to me, and see if I can't light that shit on fire.
With the torch?
Yes.
You might maybe throw it down the hole first before you light it.
There's like a look from Soren. He's like, what?
So
Big eggs. Big spider eggs.
Let's take a step back.
So let me get this right. You're pouring a barrel of wine into the hole?
Yes, pouring a barrel of wine in the hole to attempt to burn it.
Alright. So you pour the contents of about a quarter barrel, since it's not fully full at the moment. And it does go down, swishes. You hear it just kind of slosh about. And you take one of the torches and you just drop down, you drop the torch, yeah, black, I talk. You drop the torch down into the hole.
Yep.
Alright. Go
This
ahead
works.
and roll me a d6. A 1 and 2, it doesn't work. Anything above has a peculiar effect. Alright. So it takes a second, but then it lights up. And then you hear and you feel the quick inferno of the wine catching on fire, and it does burn out whatever was engulfed or touched by the wine. And after a few moments is just a bit of smoke, a bit of residual heat, and, well, a handful. It's like maybe 4 or 5 small spiders just kind of scuttling away, but you suspect that this did the job.
Soren still backs away from these scuttling away spiders, even if they're like normal sized spiders.
In that case, I would like to, this time cautiously, go down into the tunnel. Is the torch that's down there a light, or is it out? Or
It is out.
Okie doke. In that case, I ask someone with a torch to stand over the tunnel and shine light while I cautiously go down and inspect the damage.
Yeah. Is there a chance of relighting it, DM?
Roll me a d6.
You want me to roll it?
Sure.
Okay. Sorry, I had to reload my Foundry real quick. Yep, sure. Or 1, 2, 6.
It can be relit.
Okay.
Now, Brewsome, when you get to the bottom, you can see this does extend a significant distance to the south. Luckily, all the egg sacs seem to have been near this entrance. You do come across the occasional one, but they're far apart enough where you can just use a torch and kind of just burn it there, and just have all the spiders kind of catch on fire and disintegrate essentially themselves. Do you all wish to follow this tunnel?
Uh,
Yeah.
Depends on what I get pulled from the door first.
I guess I'll be behind Brewsome if he's going in first.
All right, I'm gonna try something so I don't trigger anything unneeded. Let's put you all right here. And as
Oh,
you,
Once I get down, DM, I'm gonna be in the back and I'm gonna relight the torch.
that's fine. You do move through this tunnel, and as you are making your way, you do come to another ladder. It does go upwards, and it puts you. There we go.
There we go.
Now, as you come to, there is a significant feature in that there are about 8 dwarven skeletons within this room. They're not coming to life right now, but they are all positioned at the door, and you can see on the door itself, this is a stone door, and it has on the back of it almost carved, like someone took their fingernails and was carving the back of this stone door. Some of the pickaxes that store in this room lay on the ground, and you can see on the back of the door are several puncture marks of where the pickaxes from the dwarves were trying to literally pick through the door itself. Like there's something significant inside this room they're trying to escape from, or they're trying to possibly escape this facility. But it does seem they all died in this room.
To clarify, the skeletons, are we talking currently standing up,
No.
but not moving?
They're piled on the ground. They're all next to the door, almost like they all died on a spot trying to escape this room.
Okay. I would like to go and crush their skulls before they do try anything.
You see Soren bears like a sad look towards these poor souls. And then he sees you try and step on their skulls. He has this look of like, I understand why, but damn.
Dealing with the undead again.
You're hearing all the crunch of the dwarven skulls as Brewsome goes to his, I don't want to say grizzly, but does go to his crunching work. What are the rest of you doing? Haldir, what are you doing as Brewsome is going about his crunching?
I was just thinking like he would be inspecting the room, just constantly like looking around for anything, like any items that are around that. Like he knows he sees some pickaxes and all that stuff, and he's just like in a smaller room, so he's like feeling a little bit better because he can see everything, and so he's just like trying to take it all in.
All right. Are you investigating your room or the room to the left, to the west?
Just the room that I'm in right now. Just
Okay.
looking around to see.
All right. Go ahead and give me a notice roll, please. I'll get back to you in a second. Dasta, what are you doing?
I'm guessing I'm going to inspect the current room, which is, do I see spider webs? Do I see anything of any importance as to why this group of dwarves was trying to escape this room?
Give me a notice roll. Atlas, what are you doing?
Atlas is gonna do a similar thing, except he's kind of peering into the next room. It's not the best visual since there isn't much light in there, but he just wants to see if he can quickly spot anything or even possibly sense or hear any movement in there, considering the amount of spider eggs that they've seen around. He suspects that there is a very likely larger one somewhere along this trail that they're going through.
Zorn, what about you?
Soren, so does Donsta, who stepped on the skulls, correct?
It was Brewsome.
Or Brewsome, my bad. Soren's gonna look at Brewsome and just shakes his head and says, "Now the spirits are going to be angry. We could have taken them outside and buried them proper."
We can still bury them, but this time they're not going to come back for me.
There's like a sad look. But otherwise, Soren's going to mainly investigate these bodies to try and see, like, if there's, cracks in the bones as if they were in a fight, or if it was more of, like, their bones look perfectly fine. It was more of a starvation that killed them.
They're just purely skeletons. You wouldn't really be able to tell if starvation killed them. Haldir, you're looking about, and the general, and I'll combine this actually with Haldir and Donsta. Looking around the room itself, you're not seeing anything outwardly except for this door, the stone door that has a bunch of markings on the back, has carved, almost like fingernail marks on it on the stone door, as well as the pickaxe. There's about a couple dozen markings of where the pickaxes struck the door. When you look at the skeletons, they're all intact except for the broken skulls now that Bruce was doing with the crunching you can hear. But you're noticing that along the back of the skeletons, where the spine is, every single one has been severed by not brute force, but by clean cuts, and about 4 of them. 4 clean cuts next to each other has severed all the spines of the skeletons in this room. As you watch Atlas peer into the western room.
Someone's gonna point that out. He's gonna be like, it's odd. They don't look to be in a fight, no broken bones, but their spines have been severed in very precise cuts.
Atlas, how to react?
Yeah. So while you guys are like investigating this room and such, you could see Atlas kind of his expression change from curious to a sort of what the ever-loving fuck kind of expression, and glances between everyone else and goes, "There's a very odd heat in that room." And he kind of like points in the direction, and potentially if you're looking close enough, you may see an odd glow in that area if you look hard enough. And he mentions there's a buzzing, I think. I do not like this room. This room concerns me. And he kind of like takes a step back from the doorway. Obviously very disturbed with the fact of whatever he is listening and hearing. Or wait, that's the same thing. You get what I mean.
What do y'all do?
I mean, I guess I'll
I think-
peek my head in.
I guess once I've crushed all those skeleton skulls, I'll
Good luck in
turn
there.
to Thorin and pass him his torch back and follow Donster and Haldir into the scary heat room.
This is a roll for resetting my thing. Yeah, if everybody's entering this room where there's immense heat, or away from the room that's immense heat, Soren's going to follow wherever the group's following.
As you enter the room, you can feel a breeze that's actually coming towards all of you. There's an eerie glow coming from the northern part. You can see where it originates on the wall with this map. And as you're looking at it, you're seeing there is a number of ear-splitting, headache-inducing runes that are inscribed in a circle on the wall. In the middle of it is it's a pentagram. And as you all are looking at this, or looking at the direction, the vicinity of it, you're hearing as it's starting to get brighter and brighter. More heat is emanating from it. What do you do?
Can I try and
By the way, does everyone
Take
see
out-
that?
Yep,
Yeah.
I see
Okay.
that.
Yep.
can I take out
Oh,
an
yeah, I see
arrow
that.
and try and break the rune? Like, try and take a shot at it to see if I can, like, scratch it to break it.
All right, go ahead and give me a damage roll. Someone else, what's going on?
Bloosom's going to very quickly call Soren over for light and go into the other room, pick up a pickaxe, and attempt to carry on what the other skeletons were doing by breaking down the door.
All right, go ahead and give me a damage roll.
You want
Someone
just
else.
damage?
Yep, straight damage. You can definitely hit this thing.
Add 4 to it. Because I have my whirlwind quiver. And it raised, so it should be an 11.
As you're hitting
Uh,
it, it's starting to scrape a little bit. Alice, what are you doing?
Atlas is gonna help with the door.
All right, Alice, go give me a damage roll. Dosta.
I'm gonna see if I can use elemental manipulation to see if I can disrupt the
Give me elementalism roll. Soren, what are you doing?
Damage roll with a sword.
Yes.
Okay.
Soren's going to help with the. Wait, no, you need me for the thing. Soren's going to help with the breaking of the runes with his
Give me a
pickaxe
damage roll.
that he finds. With what?
Give me a damage roll with your weapon. Hurry up.
Okay. Sorry.
The light starts to crescendo. All of you starting to sweat as a heat is emanating from this place. And then you watch as fire erupts from the pentagram signal along the wall as the others are trying to break through the stone door that the dwarves are trying to with no success. Luckily, the ones inside the leftern room, as you are being induced, I want everyone that was helping out to break the rune, give me vigor rolls at -2, please.
So, with my roll, did it do anything?
We'll get to it in a second.
Sorry, somebody rolls, my screen goes black for a couple seconds, so that's why I was a little bit slow.
Oh dear, fine,
Great.
Dusty, you're fine. Soren, give me a vigor roll.
Vigor.
As you all are trying to disengrave the runes, as Dusty is trying to manipulate it and trying to tear apart the stone to break the seal, as it starts to move and shift, a wavy essence starts to appear along the wall, and then you watch as an arm reaches through the wall, the middle of the pentagram, and then the start of a goat's horn, and then you can hear, "I know you're here. I can feel." And before he completes the sentence, there's a magnificent crack as the stonework splits and breaks apart, and immediately it snuffs out with a giant gust of a elemental and arcane explosion that cuts out everyone's torch within the room, plunging everyone into darkness as the light goes out.
Yeah, so that would go back to the question I sent you earlier about the dark vision.
Okay, so you listen. So, dark vision only works when there's light. So, if you can't see past the illumination of a torch, which is, I believe, in game terms, 6 inches, it is pitch black after that. What your dark vision allows you is to, within dim light of a torch, treat it as normal light. So it's not like D&D where you can just see the entire landscape at nighttime. You can still get pitch blackness after any light goes out. So your limited range is still extended to a torch or a lantern, but anything within that area is treated to you as bright light. With other characters, half of that is going to be dim light where they get minus penalties to the rolls.
Okay.
If I may attempt it, can I quickly try and relight my torch?
Before I do that, I want to see how well people handled this little endeavor, as these entities are not relatively common and are very rare, and they can encompass a bit of a supernatural fear. At -2, everyone go ahead and give me a spirit roll, please. As you have just had a taste with a very supernatural entity.
And I do not like the supernatural at all.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Haldir's already shooting himself before the roll.
At -2, correct?
Yes. Well,
Ooh, that's
Soren, you can't reroll that.
that.
You can't reroll a critical failure. And when you crit
can't.
fail a fear check, you, sir, have just developed a permanent phobia. We'll decide what that is in a little bit. But everyone that failed, go ahead and give me, please, a fatigue level on your character sheet. And you, Soren, you succumb
Whoops.
to
Ignore that, sorry.
a significant amount of fear. Probably the most fear you've had in your entire life. That was partly supernatural in essence. But you did not take to this good at all. This is going to give you you can buy it off with an advancement, but this gives you a new hindrance. It's going to be a mental, we'll decide what it is, but you're going to develop pretty soon, because of this experience, a madness, potentially.
I see.
That's a tough roll to roll a crit fail on this roll, but this will come up a little later on, so you need to worry about it right now. But go ahead and give me a -1 to your fatigue. It's on your character sheet. Everyone, as you do experience this phenomenon, this entity, before luckily you're able to blow out the summoning portal that was on the wall of this place. But with that, a slight boon does happen. You see, amongst the crushed skeletons is a small glow, but a nice. It's a light blue of a glow. Inside one of the pockets of the dwarven skeletons, peering through the rips of the fabric, is something that is glowing, which you didn't see beforehand when you came into the room with the torch. But now that all the light has been put out, you all can see that there's a slight illumination coming from one of the torn pouches of the figures. But first, what's everyone's reaction to the events that just occurred?
Sword looks like he's literally seconds from like wetting his trousers, shaking. His legs are shaking. His face is pure white as he looks towards this rune with a look of absolute terror. And he doesn't really say anything.
Fantastic. Brewsome, how do you react to this?
I suppose I call over to Saw and say, "Come here, lad. Come stand in the light." As for how Bruce himself is handling it, while mildly disturbed, he is interested to see if closing the portal with the, I suppose, demon partway through has lopped off any of its limbs and whether they would be an interesting thing. But that will be coming later.
All right. Atlas, how do you react?
Well, initially when the whole ruins began, Atlas didn't say aloud, but thought to himself, "I told you so." And now is maybe a tad bit annoyed that everyone just barged into the room, but he's not going to speak his mind. And instead is just more focused on the little glowing thing in this skeleton.
Fantastic. Dunsta, what about you?
I'm gonna find my way over to the door. If I can. Am I able to still see the door even with this a little amount of light?
The faint light, yes, does illuminate the door.
Okay. I'm wanting to at least see if I can cast Unlock on the door.
As you investigate the door, you do notice that the door is slightly ajar. And the fact that you can tell it is no longer locked. Whatever supernatural force held it in place has been broken with your little endeavors.
Okay.
Yeah. With wobbly legs, Soren's going to make his way over to the group as he's going to cast a spell. He's going to attempt to anyway, because, you know, he's fucking scared right now. And is suffering. He's going to attempt to cast Succor, first on himself, because right now that's his immediate concern. And then he's going to attempt to do it on everyone in mass. That way my own fatigue is removed for your guys' roll. So this would be at -1 because of Succor? Or because of Frightened? Or
Yes,
not
so I
Frightened,
have the -1, but you can negate the penalty for the spell itself, so go ahead and roll it.
Okay. Yeah. Oh wait, I put in a -1 by accident. Okay, my bad.
That's fine. Either way, it still works. So you cast the spell, and after a few moments, you do feel a bit of a warmth. And in fact, as you cast this, as the only illumination right now is the light coming from the pocket of the skeleton, what is your effect when you cast a spell, Soren? What's it look like?
Essentially, when he casts these spells, you guys witness as a sort of barth-like warmth, the kind of warmth that you'd experience when you're sitting by the fireplace in your own home, a childhood memory perhaps, sitting and reading perhaps, or maybe even just enjoying a fine tea. That's the sort of Succor that he illuminates as he casts the spell and rejuvenates his own exhaustion, sort of taking it away and locking it up to be bottled up memories that he can later experience as trauma.
Like any well-rounded adult does.
Yes.
So, when he does that,
only myself. That was only targeting
Okay.
myself.
Okay.
Now that my fatigue is removed and I can better cast spells, I'm going to attempt it on all of you. Because I don't. So okay, so this is gonna be.
It's gonna give me a -1 to every extra person. So.
Yep. So That's gonna be 4 people that I'm using, or 3 people I'm gonna be using this on. Because not including myself, because I already used it on myself.
There's 5
2.
people.
Yeah, so there's gonna be 4 people.
Oh, you're right, because there's 5. My bad.
Yep.
4. All right, -4. Alrighty. Let's hope it goes off.
All right, so it's a base at -1 plus 4, so that's going to be 1 to 4, it's 5. That's -3 to -1 total. You rolled a 5, so it's a 4. So you succeed. So everyone, you watch as this young companion that you just acquired does actually spread this warmth through all of you, and you feel as all of your fear that you just got from this event just kind of fade away from your mind. And maybe the twitchiness you had in your hands, or that slight cold sweat, dries up. Your twitchiness settles and stops. You're able to breathe much easier.
Well, no.
Question.
Yes.
Soren, you said that when you cast that spell, like you said it for yourself, you kind of see the vision of a good memory, or was that just
That was more. That's more of the feeling. You get a feeling.
just the feeling?
Like,
You don't actually like visualize anything.
no. I mean,
Okay.
you might like imagine it, like imagination, but that's more of a personal thing.
Yeah.
You do feel a sort of homeliness, like a sense of a good memory, that kind of thing.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know.
Yeah. I will note, despite the fact that he just cast the spell to make you all better, Soren still looks like he is seconds from like collapsing to his knees, or worse, as he is absolutely terrified of the encounter that he just had faced. It doesn't look like being in the light has helped him much. However, it is sort of like he's still very, very much like, oh my god, I hope a spirit doesn't kill me.
All right. Everyone can now relight the torches with steady hands.
Do we remove our fatigue?
Yes.
Or is that
You can.
fantastic?
Having a hero of the group is beneficial.
Yes.
Look, I was told that you guys have had horrible things without somebody with a sucker spell. I was like, damn, I'll take sucker then.
All right, Brewsome, you can go back to the other room where there's no arm on the ground, but there is a black, inky-esque liquid substance on the ground, about a handful in size, which you can poke, prod, or throw into the human stew if you so wish.
Oh God, why'd you have to do that?
Yes.
Now it's
I
just
love
gonna get
these
worse.
I love these options.
I don't. Atlas, Atlas, in a joking matter, Atlas has a phobia of that dang stew. Put it near him and he'll instantly run 10 feet away from you.
Good. Maybe the enemies will do the same.
Soren's going to approach Atlas, and he's going to ask Atlas to light his torch for him because his hands are too shaky.
Can Atlas do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Atlas will do that. He kind of like puts a hand on Soren's shoulder, noticing that he's obviously very frightened, and he doesn't say anything because he knows himself very well that saying anything is not going to help any fear that Soren might be feeling. So he just kind of puts a comforting hand on his shoulder.
He does relax a little bit, but it's very clear that like it's gonna be a while before he's back. Yeah, and with that, yeah.
Brewsome,
Now then,
what do you do?
I would like to prod this black matter, and we'll take it from there.
Okay.
Could I also like make like a notice roll or common knowledge to know if I know anything about what this black substance would be?
I'm gonna say, you know what? OG Build to Explode. This is gonna be a roll for you, since this is something that's not common and very, very rare. This will be at -5. Common knowledge.
For common.
Yeah.
How do you coming in with the logic here? Maybe
Not at all.
try and learn about it first.
Not at all.
Yeah, we need
Might
some of
be
that in this group.
Oh,
So when you
by the
prod,
way,
oh, sorry. All right. So when you prod the black inky X liquid, it's rather thick and kind of gelatinous in its consistency. And whatever you prod it with, a little bit of that residue kind of stays on, say, like a stick you had. And yeah, it doesn't move, and it just seems to be something left over from whatever tried to enter into the room before you stopped it.
I add it to the stew.
Okay.
Oh my god.
oh my god. Amazing.
Everyone go ahead and give me, within this room, Brewsome, give me a vigor roll, please, at -2. And everyone else give me a vigor roll at no penalty.
God damn
As
it.
when he opens the lid, the smell from this thing is hitting all of your nostrils.
That's fantastic,
Fantastic.
man. Oh, thank God.
Has anybody been keeping track of how old this thing is now? Also, I'm not liking my own stew. Okay.
Soren is already in a state, man. Vigor roll. Hilariously, I think I have the highest vigor in the party.
As for now, you do.
As for now, I do.
It's a beefy kid.
5. Pretty average.
Is that everyone, or? Oh, yeah, Mike's
I
taking
think
away.
so. Yep.
2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's all of us.
So everyone, except for Brewsome. Brewsome, take another level of fatigue, as it's just really, really, really bad smelling. As we open it up, there's just mold and just really disgusting different colors, and it's really, really thick. And when you pop in that that residue from this entity, it just quickly sinks to the bottom and dissolves. And yeah,
God, it's strong enough to dissolve it.
I was going to say, it dissolved as in my stew has now overpowered the demon goo.
Oh God.
Soren looks at
You can see, like, the way Atlas, quote unquote, succeeds his vigor roll is he just puts his hand over his nose, slightly steps away more towards the wall, and goes, "That is the most putrid thing I have ever smelled. You need to get rid of that. I don't understand why you carry such a thing around in your bag."
This stew is on Brewsome's person, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
It sits in a nice
Constantly.
sealed container in the bottom of a bag. It's been there for several months now. How long has it been? Like 4 months or something?
Too many months. Too many. Yeah.
Soren's gonna look over at Brewsome with a look of shock, horror, and disgust. But maybe only one, maybe half of those are from the previous experience. As he says, I'm not gonna cast sucker on you if you keep that around. He says just pure flatly, I am not going to remove that exhaustion until you throw that shit out.
If you ever want to forget your fear, just go take a whiff of that.
God, yeah, I'll forget
everything.
Yeah, I'll get amnesia.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess in between, gagging and, whatever else I might be doing because of this fatigue, I'm like, well, if we ate it this much, hopefully our enemies do as well.
God,
Keep
the fact-
saying that, but you don't use it.
Not the right time.
God damn it.
But hey, on the
his-
plus side, dissolves demon goo.
I don't think that's a plus.
God.
Has anyone investigated this glowing thing, or have we just been distracted the whole time?
What, by the goo in the stew?
No.
I imagine it took center attention for a second there.
Because I think
Good.
Atlas wants to look more into what this glowing thing is. Now that we've distracted ourselves from that situation.
Who wants to investigate the little glowing thing?
Yeah, not quite. Maybe not like touch it yet, but try to move around. Because you said it was in one of their pockets.
Indeed, it is.
Yeah, he wants to try and like maybe turn the pocket inside out and like push it out onto the floor so that he doesn't touch it, but he can have a better look of what it actually is.
We could use an arrow to like pop it, like cut open the cloth and stuff, and pop it out.
Alice already has his hands on the skeleton. It's okay.
So as you prod around, you watch as a small, maybe about 2 inch in diameter, 2 to 3 inches, a small gem clanks to the ground. And it's a brilliant purple color. And it's given off a slight glow, which is what you see in the room right now.
Can I do a common knowledge to see if I can know what it is?
Common knowledge roll at -2. Anyone can do a common knowledge roll at -2.
I think I shall
Wow,
join you.
Atlas is just dumb today.
Can I try and persuade this goose? No, I'm kidding.
You cannot persuade this. No.
I know what it is.
You
I
do,
would say
Haldir.
Benny, but you got a raise, so that's good enough.
You know exactly what this is, Haldir. This is actually another. Remember where you are right now. You're in an ancient dwarven citadel. This is another minor. Well, not another, because the thing you have, the axe you have, Haldir, is something actually more than minor. But this is a minor, actual magical item. Definitely can be tell by the way it's glowing, but it's a brilliant purple, and it's known by a few names. Dwarves love these because the dwarves call them ailstones, but they have other names known as healthstones, pockstones, or sickstones. And what they do is this stone allows you to have a free Benny on this specific stone itself to resist the effects of a poison, disease, drunkenness, or addiction.
Is it like a one-time use thing?
No, every day is a free Benny you can use to negate, or use it to negate one of those effects. Now, they're associated with every single deity, and this one is associated with the god of known as Vali.
Yeah, I'll just relay all that to everybody.
Wish we got that a couple seconds ago. Ugh.
Well, Atlas is kind of like gonna look around, and ask, is anyone particularly interested in this object? Because even though he, of course, is as well, he wants to see if anyone else has a more, I guess, bigger interest in it than himself.
Bruceum, first time in a while, is silent on this, but you see him staring at it with his eyes wide in interest and glee.
And in addition to that, Soren's gonna pipe up Elizabeth. I think the person closest to whatever that abomination is, he says, looking at like the pot, should probably have that. Ugh. Gross.
Give Bruce a Benny on his own smell.
Yeah, essentially.
That'd be a twist.
Oh, sorry, rephrase. They're used once per session. You can use them, so not once per day.
Atlas kind of looks between the other three, considering how Bruceum is, I guess, in love with this stone and unable to look away from it. Looks at the other three and goes, do any of you have any objections to handing it over to Bruceum?
I think it's the best.
Alice kind of gives a nod and goes, "Very well," and looks over to Brewsome and goes, "You may take it.
Bru-
Seems like you're the most interested."
oh,
Yeah, go
Brewsome,
ahead.
as well as Haldir. Mostly Haldir, he's the one that did the role. This is a permanent magical artifact. It's a minor artifact, but an artifact is anything that is permanently magical based, because that technology, that knowledge to make them, has been lost for a long time. Which means this is also an item the reliquary will look for if they find out you have it.
Yeah. We're just throwing everything on Brewsome right now, so.
I was going to say, so far I have all of the magical artifacts. However, I also have the stew. So, you know.
Yeah. It's like they want
Balance.
him, but they don't want to get near him. You know.
All right. How about we take
You
a
get
quick
me?
5-minute break, and then we will continue when we're all back.
Okay.
If you want the artifacts you need to get past the stew.
It'll be perfect because you could just be like just full magic items, but nobody's gonna
Bro.
want to be near you enough to pay close enough attention.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if I don't know. I don't know if I should tell you this. I want to tell you it, but I don't know if the DM will be like, you probably shouldn't tell them that. So, I'm probably not gonna say it. Never mind. Now you guys are gonna be in suspense.
Oh, I love being in suspense.
It's
It
kind
gives
of-
me a great feeling of falling.
It's kind of funny when he described the black liquid. First thing that came to my head was, huh. I wonder where that's familiar. Totally not the main problem in the campaign that I did. I don't know why that was the first thing that I thought of.
Problem in the campaign?
Yeah, in my campaign, I essentially had I had a black liquid that here. We're on break time, so I can explain it. Um I'm sure in here it doesn't have a name because it doesn't look like it's actually interesting, but in mine it was like the main um I guess like problem with the BBEG. Where the hell is it? Yeah, so I called it Prototype Nick, and essentially it was something that the BBEG made because they're scientists, and it eats away at the brain until its own intelligence is completely controlling the host. So it can be used on humans or animals, and when it's used on animals, they gain like ridiculous strength and become these um essentially very large, horrifying creatures. So that's like the first thing that I thought of when he said that. I wanted to make mention of it, but it's better to not talk about that in game.
So, I mean, nowhere near as interesting as that. My first thought was either just straight up demon blood, or the body parts that were chopped off dissolved into this and are therefore demon matter, or whatever you want to call it. I just say demon goo.
Yeah, I would say it's fairly close to probably just demon goo.
However, that little detail that it dissolves in the stew, I say we go demon hunting.
Oh my god.
Uh,
Yeah,
if-
you know what? Maybe
what
it's your weird stew is super effective against demons.
You know what would have been better than if you'd been attacking that round? If when that demon poked its head out, you just fucking threw the liquid at him, the stew.
Well, it was just his hand, so I don't think it would have done all too good.
Oh, if it was just, I thought his head, like, he was like halfway out, like his head. was
Nah,
out.
it was just a hand.
I thought it was a hand and a horn.
It
he
may
had
have
his,
been
like,
a-
body through it. He had his arms and his head was through it.
Oh, really? I thought I just heard hand.
Yeah.
That's why he was able to speak.
Oh, right.
Now, ain't that just an interesting thing and a half? I should have thrown the stew. That was my one chance to get rid of the stew. Never
Yeah,
get
Also, you
please.
wouldn't have had to get a level of exhaustion. I'm very tempted. Like I'm having out of character like contemplations on if I should actually remove that exhaustion or not, because it's self-caused.
I mean, put it this way: I have chosen to carry around this human. First of all, I need to tell you the origin of this stew because I'm not sure if anyone's gone over it with you.
I
Um,
don't think so.
So I joined on the second session, and basically I was, captured by goblins. The rest of the group, um, they came in, freed me from the cage along with two other villagers, and killed the goblins. After the end of the battle, we were going around the little goblin camp, getting a bit of a detail, and Hursk mentions essentially a vat of what he's called flesh stew, which was human body parts made into a stew. My first instinct was to take some of it with me.
Which was a
And that's
horrible, horrible decision, and I am very disappointed that I could not stop that.
Yes, unfortunately, you weren't there to question it.
Yup.
What's been added to it since?
Oh no, that's the first thing that's been added to it. Now that I realise we're adding things to it, the value of it's gone up. I may never get rid of it.
Oh, for God's sake.
It increases with power.
Alright.
If Atlas ever goes rogue, you know how to stop him.
Exactly.
Alright, so, do you pocket the Elstone, Brewsome?
Yes, I kind of scramble over towards it after being told that I can pick it up and put it in my bag, and look around and say, okay, I think we're ready to go.
I'll make that for
Like
later,
a happy
but
child tone. You could have chocolate.
right now, go ahead and make an item in inventory, call it the Elstone, and I'll do the entry for it later on.
Okie doke, let me sort that. Is that ale spelt as in the drink?
ALE, yes.
Oh, fantastic.
Has anybody looked into these chests?
I was just about to mention the chests.
I was gonna look in them, but I wasn't sure if we were just leaving or not.
I think we've already done enough to these poor dwarfs.
What do you mean? We just liberated them and showed them the stew.
And I don't think
Exactly.
anybody got my. Damn, nobody got my joke. Unfortunate.
Alright. Who's looking inside the chest, if they are?
Was it Haldia that mentioned looking in the chest?
I'll go with you.
No, that was me.
Was Donsta.
Okay.
Well,
All
I
right.
think it was
Well,
both of us.
I'll look in the far chest, and I guess you guys can look in the.
I'll assist anybody that has trouble opening.
Brewsome. Luckily, these chests aren't locked. This looks like there'd be a guard room of some sort. These are bunk beds, and there are, in total, a combination of 6 beds here. And in the chest, they're not locked, but you can open them. And, well, it does seem to be, unfortunately, the individuals, the dwarves that lived here, died here because the contents are still within. Most notably is that Brewsome, go ahead and roll me 4d20. Haldir and Donsta both roll me 2d20.
I believe that's the way to do it. Yep, that looks right. Fantastic.
Hey, there's my natural one.
How do I whisper, by the way? I forgot how you use whispering.
So in chat, right above where it says languages, a little like a silhouetted guy from like the Dare program. Go ahead and click on that, and then go and select my name. And it'll be the name underneath the check mark. And then you type the message and hit send. All right, in total, you find a total of 69 gold coins.
Is that
Awesome.
or is that all together?
Altogether. The roll you guys did is the actual rolls for gold.
Oh, nice. Team rolling the best number.
How do we want to divide that? There's 5 people. I can't maths right now. Do we want to split that evenly?
Either someone bust out a calculator or make a group fund.
13.8 is the number that I got.
Do we want to make a group fund? I'm all for a group fund if that's what we want to do.
Make like a party bag.
Group fund.
I think there is a party bag as it is. Yeah, there's a group bag inside. Actually, I didn't let everyone look at it. All right, so everyone now has ownership of a group bag with inside the actors section. It's just a character, but right now there was 17, so we'll just go right now, put it in there, and then you can all decide how to split it. Like easy. So this is going to be 86 gold coins, and then you can all decide how to split this. There's 86 gold coins inside that bag.
So, following the discovery of the group bag, may I put the enchanted axe that I'm currently carrying around and not using in there?
Nope, because that's you carrying it. It is weight.
No. Let's not then. Well, I think I'm all done here.
Man.
There's another one of those tower. No words defy me. Thank
Pillar.
you. There's another pillar here. May I investigate it? See what it's like.
You can look at it. It's not like the one inside the northern room. This one is a clean pillar. There's some slight cracks from the earthquakes that were happening with the worm, but all intents and purposes, it's a normal pillar.
Okay. That is not quite as exciting as I was hoping, but no matter.
So this essentially, this section of this ruins has been explored. We now have the western, eastern, and the southern sections to look at.
Atlas is going to quickly speak up before Haldir begins sprinting down the hallway. And he quickly speaks up. By the way, just a reminder, the westernmost area where you are planning to go is where Soren supposedly heard that sound. So just maybe keep our eyes and ears open a bit more than usual while we go down that hallway.
Perhaps it would be better to go that way then.
I hope it's not another demon.
Well, you said they heard growling and barking, correct?
Yeah, sort of. That's what
Okay.
he heard.
Howling.
I hadn't heard anything. It was just him that heard it.
Howling and barking, was that?
There's like a nod from Soren. He also very clearly looks a little bit unsure, like a decent bit unsure of himself. However, that is what he does.
Well, I vote to go to the west purely in order to, see what's going on with the noises, because why leave a stone unturned?
Very well.
Why not charge headfirst into the growling, snarling maws of whatever's in the deep dark?
Well, after what we just experienced running forward into a sizzling demonic room, I don't know if that's the best course of action, but
On the other hand, do you think Brusum's the kind of person to learn from his mistakes and his
Oh,
actions?
absolutely not. I know that very, very well, that he does not learn from anything, actually.
Fantastic, let's go.
Before all this happens, Soren's gonna shake his head. I'm only doing this because I know you're gonna get in trouble. Okay, come here. As he approaches you with a hand of magic, as he's going to attempt to revitalize you.
Aw, thank you, Soren.
God, I hate you. I'm kidding. Soren's just like he has this look on his face that's like a mixture between why am I doing this, but also I know you're gonna get in trouble and I don't want that. Post roll. It'll be no reduced accuracy, I believe. Because one target. Hilarious. It doesn't have a trait modifier. I don't think, because it's not in combat.
Yeah. So right now, at being a novice character, you can negate up to -2 penalties of the spell itself.
Is that a critical failure?
But even without the failure, it still wouldn't pass.
That's a skill die of a 1. So here's what happens. Soren, you
Can
have
I
been.
Benny?
You can.
Yeah, I'll Benny that. Do I roll? So do I just click reroll with Benny?
Yeah, it should be in the card in chat.
Yep.
It's a little poker. Yeah, click on that.
It's like my god's just like, damn, how dare you?
Pretty much. That was going to be happening.
How dare you have anything to do with this gross, vile liquid?
I was gonna say, like, let's put it this way: we've already established it was self-inflicted.
Yeah, but
I reckon this is your god saying enough.
I know, but like, I don't want you to be like dying, because that might. Soren's a little sweetheart, okay. Anyway, yeah. So that is a little bit better, decently better, not a crit fail.
Okay, and that will remove the fatigue. As the smell goes back into that giant pot of human stew.
You reminisce
demon.
about you reminisce of when this stew was not moldy, and you get a smile like, oh, the good old days. And you're exhausted.
Yeah. That fateful day at the Goblin Camp.
All right, where we're moving, individuals, we got 3 locations to explore.
Well, I'm all up for going to the west and throwing ourselves into the maws of whatever's growling at us.
I completely agree, honestly. That's like the one time I've completely agreed with you.
If worst comes to worst, I'll throw some of the stew on it.
Oh my god.
Honestly, we might be able to distract him a little bit. Though I think even feral beasts would have struggled with the smell of such a thing.
I mean, it just dissolved demon goo. I think we'll be fine regardless.
I can control feral beasts, so it's all good.
There we go. My token's finally moving. Hip hip hooray!
All right, so first mechanic of exploration. Torches can go out from just time. Everyone's got a torch. Roll me a d6. 1 or 2, your torch goes out and is now unusable.
Okay. Alrighty.
And now everybody rolls a 2.
No.
Oh, speaking of which, I haven't relit my torch yet, have I, DM, since the whole...
Oh, Soren, your torch goes out.
Okay.
So I don't know if we actually bought supplies because I didn't really explain the mechanic, but for future reference, whenever we enter a new area, there's actually a new room or section of a underground cavern or dungeon, or whatnot, or dungeon. If you roll 1 or 2 on the dice, your torch goes out, and you have to get another one. So you keep that in mind for supplies for future reference on future endeavors into underground systems. All right, as you're moving towards the west, you see there is a small opened room immediately to the north, and then another dwarven pillar, and some more open ground with a couple mushrooms that are just sitting on the ground, all peaceful-like.
Would I know what these mushrooms are?
Dunsta, go ahead and give me a common knowledge roll at -3. You might be earth-based, but you're not underground-based.
Oh,
Well,
I know.
Damn.
You know exactly what this is. These are edible fungi. In fact, you know so much about these that this is actually what the dwarves of... Gotta recall the name real quick. The dwarves of Karad Narag, to the south along the Silvercat Mountains, they actually harvest these fungus for food. And in fact, it's actually the biggest commodity now, surpassing mineral wealth in that dwarven stronghold, because this is a foodstuff that they can sell and trade to the area around. And it's actually caused a bit of issues within Karad. We'll delve into if we ever go there, but this is edible fungus.
I would like.
I would like to harvest one.
I would also like to harvest one.
All
Or
right.
the stew.
Go ahead and move next to it. As you see, there is a patch along the wall. How dear, as you move to the north, you see there are a couple of wooden crates, boxes, but they have been open and the contents have been littered about. They seem to be a collection of construction materials, hammers, a bit of pickaxes, and the tools to work in the construction of caverns and roadways.
Hmm.
Donsta and Brewsome, harvest these mushrooms. Go ahead and give me a fantastic roll of,
Survival.
yes, survival at a -1.
Oh, well, this will be very interesting. Then.
As these are young fungal growths. Brewsome, you get essentially 1 ration worth of mushrooms. And Donsta, you get 2 batches, essentially 2 rations of mushrooms. As you both cut into the fungus to harvest them, you do have some spores that do emit from them, but because they're so young of this growth, nothing really occurs as you kind of just brush the pollen off of you.
Could I put some of the spores into the stew?
Oh my god.
You can.
Dear Christ.
Do these
Any-
mushrooms have a particular name? Since they're well known.
Yes, give me 1 second. I don't know offhand, but they do.
I've just put dwarven mushrooms for now as a placeholder.
So let's make up a random name. You know what, Donsta? You the one that figured out the role. You tell me. What's the name of this fungus? Make it lore fitting, please.
Lore fitting.
So don't call it like, just don't make it like a weird name. Just make it a lore fitting name. Like, don't call it 420 Bud. I'm not gonna say no. I'm gonna not say yes to that. So. I'll let you think on it. We'll get to it back. All right. You see another little small mushroom to the southwest. What would y'all like to do? Move. As you put the spores into the stew, Brewsome, go ahead and everyone, that's around Brewsome, go ahead and give me another vigor roll at -2 for being in close proximity.
You
Oh
are.
god.
Thank God it was away.
Love you all.
Soren just like looks at Bruce as he's like starting to open the stew again with like a look of dear God.
What is this range? Like, am I in range?
Yes, you're in the open.
Within. Okay, a 5.
Why isn't it? Oh Christ, I was lagging big time there. Okay. That's why there's multiple things of mine popping up. And I get another fail.
Brewsome, you take a level of fatigue.
I swear. I swear to my God, literally. There's a look as you get like sick again from opening this. Sword looks pissed.
Alice, you too.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh
I
my
would-
God.
I would just like to reiterate that Brewsome loves you all. He loves you very dearly.
So what I'm like,
Atlas is. I hope you know Atlas is giving you the most deadpanned, annoyed expression he can muster.
Now, to note, this was at -2, which means theoretically Atlas did fail as well as Donsta. No, Donsta you passed. Soren, you did fail also.
oh great.
Can I Benny that?
Of course.
Soren looks at Brewsome.
I don't think that's any better.
as we all get sick from him opening it again. It just says blatantly, "You're putting that down. We're not bringing that anywhere with us."
I'll tip it in the bushes somewhere. Make them grow lovely.
I'm sorry. What?
You heard?
No, I was like out of character. I didn't hear. I'm sorry.
Oh, I said that I'm gonna tip it in the bushes. Now that it's got a medium, it's got something to grow, and possible demonic powers. Who knows?
No, please, please don't dump it out in here, please. Oh, yeah. He makes a face as if like the scent was like resurfacing in his mind, as he just points to the corner and says, "Just put the pot down, please."
Wait,
Alright.
damn, is it legit?
That is legit.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Brewsome,
Oh,
Hello.
you watch as immediately, well, you don't watch, you get to feel, because this thing strikes you.
Fantastic. I
Now,
love that.
because you don't know this is happening, this is getting the drop on you.
Okay.
All right. Everyone, we'll do initiative after this, but right now, Brewsome, you're taking a strike from this thing. So, this immediately spears out a section of stew, like a spear tip, into the back of your neck, Brewsome. Now, because this is a surprise, this is going to be at +4 and +4 damage.
Okay.
But you still have shield and a reflection in effect, at least.
You do. So your total defense is 6. This rolled an 11 with a raise, so it's +4 with the result here. All right, Brewsome, that is 2 wounds. Actually, no, because I didn't actually target you, so let me actually... What is your toughness? This should be going into the number. Let's see how to do this. There we go. Is 1 wound. Do you wish to soak this? You can do it if you want to with the chat that is the card in chat. As it burrows into the back of your neck, this entity. And to give notion of what this looks like, as you decide what you want to do, everyone sees this thing unfold from the pot of demon-infested stew.
Oh god, he's gonna die from a pot of stew, isn't he?
Oh, it is. The fact that you put the demon and stuff inside it, yeah, caused this. This is what it looks like.
See? You must pay penance for your sins.
Are you talking to yourself? Because you should be.
All right, we're
We
going into
didn't
combat.
do anything. This is all you, buddy.
I will not be cooking then.
All right, everyone, go ahead and draw cards if you so want. Damn, there's some good card draws here.
Oh, I got a can.
Fitting that I go
Yeah.
first. Defeat the thing that I created. Little demon.
Alice, do you wish to use a penny to get a better card, or do you want to stick with that? Although you have to beat a queen to get in front of me.
I'm alright.
All right. All right, fellas, beginning of round 1. Brewsome, you are shaken. You need to get rid of that because this thing has a spear of human stew that has pierced your neck. And with that, because of what you put in this thing, I need you to now give me at -2 a vigor roll because, well, there's most definite diseases probably in this thing right now.
Fantastic. Let's roll at -2.
Fantastic. Roll fortitude. You could use a stone to actually do this also. As it is, you are not sickened by this thing, but you are shaken. So, go ahead and give me a spirit roll, Brewsome, or you can only move. Or use a penny to get rid of it after you roll.
I have no interest in moving. I am right where I want to be, I reckon.
Alright, give me a spirit roll. Remember, you hold down control and click it, it will automatically roll.
Sorry, what
Spirit.
roll?
If you hold down control and click on spirit, you'll automatically roll it without having to click on the card twice.
Ah, that's... Okay.
Alright, you
I mean,
are
could be-
still shaken. So, you can use a Benny to automatically remove shaking and take your action, or you move, and that is all you can do this turn.
I shall spend a Benny.
Alright, go for it. Click the button, and you'll automatically remove the shaken status. Okay, you are no longer shaken. What do you want to do, Brewsome? Soren, you're on deck.
Yep.
I'm going to target it, and if I click the right thing, there we go. Attack it with my dwarven great axe. Why is it rolling? We don't ask for these rolls.
You roll damage. You gotta roll to hit first.
Indeed, I do.
Oh.
And as your axe swings in, it goes through the body of this entity, and then the body closes back up as if nothing occurred. And you hear it bubbling. I will get you. As it just bubbles in that bit of a demonic voice. Your attack does nothing to it.
Fantastic.
You wish to move, Brewsome.
How injured am I again? I'm gonna stay here.
Okay. Brewsome, go ahead and give me a vigor roll, please.
Pick a... any modifiers for that?
Well, just your base modifiers that you already have. So if you dig in wounds and roll. Okay. As it talks, it puffs out and a mist of human stew engulfs the area. Luckily, you don't get sickened by this. You're fine. We now go to Soren. Oh dear, you're on deck.
Yeah. Well, I'm stuck between healing the party and dying. I don't think my weapon will do any damage though. Because this thing probably is immune to normal weapons. I don't know exactly how the system works. So, with that, yeah, I don't know if things can be immune to things or not. Is that like a thing I would know, or?
I'm not going to say.
It
Yeah,
certainly
understandable.
sounds like it's immune to physical, but we shall see.
Yeah, understandable. In that case, yeah, I'm going to attempt to use. Let me just see the range of this real quick. Doesn't have a listed range in my spells. Weird. All right,
Yep.
I'm going to move to the opposite side of Russum, 2 inches to one there, and then one there, because I do not want to be within 1 inch of this thing, because gross. And I'm going to attempt to use.
All right, before you do that, go ahead and give me, Soren, a vigor roll.
No modifier.
No modifier.
Understand?
As you're moving through the mist of the human stew that it has excreted from
like-
its body.
Oh, is there like a mist that I would see?
It's all around. It's lingering in the area like an actual mist. You're fine though. Go do your action.
Okay. I'm going to attempt to cast a spell. I'm going to attempt to cast healing, targeting Brewsome.
Go for it.
And it is -2 because of action.
It'll automatically be involved. In fact, we're gonna skip your turn now. Go ahead and do your stuff since we can continue. Haldir, what do you wish to do as Soren is attempting to heal Brewsome?
I was going to take 2 actions to... First, I'm going to take a shot at the thing, and then I was going to run up and trying to heal Bruceum as well.
All right. Soren, this is actually a total of 2, so you have to use a Benny if you want to.
Okay. Why are there 2 different modifiers, by the way?
I'm not sure, but it's a -2, not -4.
But isn't it
Okay.
a 1 on the skill die?
Oh, it is one of the skill die. All right, this
Okay.
will trigger it again. You got to use a Benny, or you're gonna trigger your effect.
I will reroll with my Benny.
All right. Thank you, Donsta, for reminding me on that one.
Okay. Wait. Why does
So
it use
this is a
unskilled?
4, 5.
It says it uses unskilled and not art. In the top of the healing description. Do you see that?
I noticed. Let me see what's going on. It should be a D6.
Is it using the wrong stat?
Yeah, it's not using faith. Let me see real quick. All right, try it one more time. We do the entire card. I think I know why.
Okay. Repost the card?
Yeah, do the entire thing again.
Okay. Do I get that Benny back, by the way?
It didn't work. Yeah, I'll give it to you. Let me figure out real quick
That's weird.
why this is being...
Edit healing.
Do me a favor, roll faith on your character sheet skill-wise. We'll figure it out later on.
Roll character sheet skill wise?
Yeah, roll your faith on
you
your
roll
skill
the
sheet. Yeah, just roll that.
Okay. Do faith. Sorry, I forgot. Clicked on the wrong thing. All right, faith. Roll.
All right, so this would be a -2. So, Bristom, you get healed with the wounds. All right, so now it goes to how do you what you want to do.
All right, I'm gonna take my shot.
Go for
Well,
it.
because since he healed, I'll just take 2 shots then.
Okay. Go ahead and target what you did and do the attack. Let's see if we can actually hurt this thing. Woo. And we're under the effects of Roll One Quiver, correct?
Yes, it's +4 to damage.
All right. Go ahead and roll damage.
Ooh, so 7.
Do you wish to use a Benny on that?
Yep. Yeah. Well,
Much better.
4, so 16.
All right. Next time, add in the damage roll modifier +4. As it is.
Oh, okay, I see that now.
All right, 16. I am going to soak that because we ain't taking that. As this actually does hurt it. Let's go ahead and take that for 1 wound. All right. It has 1 wound as your Whirlwind Quiver actually strikes this thing, but because it is magical base with your spell, it does actually damage this entity. Fantastic. Do your second attack there, Haldir.
You hear words of encouragement from Soren.
Oh, these raises are going to do good. All right.
Raise. So +4 to damage.
Your explosions! Ooh, alright, I'm definitely soaking that one. Definitely soaking that one. Ugh. Alright. We're rolling bennies. We're using my GM bennies. GM bennies, alright. Got a raise! Negate it! Alright. How dare you wish to move?
Yeah, I'll just move right there.
How dare give me a vigor roll, please. As now, the human stewed demonic entity takes its aim. Right, you're fine, Haldir. Another spear of just liquid goo shoots out at Brusum as this thing attempts to use another In fact, it is going to go ahead and do 2 actions. It is going to do a stun against Haldir as a wave of liquid shoots out and hits you, Haldir, in the spear. So we'll do 2 actions. We'll do the stun first against you, Haldir.
Also, when you soak that damage, did it remove your shaken?
Actually, yes, it does. Never mind. We're going to do that against here. Everyone inside the square is going to have to deal with this.
Well,
All right. Does that have 2 wounds? Should have 1 wound. Yeah, it should be 1 wound. I don't know what's going on there.
Well, was it because the first attack you were
Oh.
shaken, right? And then the second attack.
I completely soaked.
Okay.
So yeah, so it'll only be 1 wound. All right, so everyone here, this actually is an 8. So everyone needs to go ahead and give me inside that square. So Donsta, Brewsome, and Soren, give me at -2 a vigor roll, or you'll be stunned.
I don't know what this means, but I'm terrified.
As a wave of filth falls on the 3 of you.
Okay.
Brewsome, you negate it. Donsta, you negate it. Soren.
Yep.
need
Sorry.
you
My.
to roll. It's fine. I'm just seeing the results.
Yep.
Soren, unless you want to use a Benny, you're taking a stun status.
I'm going to negate with a Benny, or not negate. Reroll with a Benny.
Okay, do that, and I'm gonna do the second attack with the filthy stew. All right, you're good there.
Yep. Ooh, crit success.
All right, here comes the roll against you, Brewsome, and I. Ooh, all right. That is a miss. I'm gonna use a Benny. I want to hit you. You made this thing, Brewsome. I'm gonna try
I
to get you
made
with it. I'm gonna try to get you with it. I got you with it. All right, so it's not gonna be a razor. It's a normal hit. As it spears back into you, Brewsome. Luckily this time, no drop, so it's gonna be wow, really. All right, I'm going to Bennies. I'm going to Bennies.
How many Bennies? Wait, how many Bennies does the DM get?
Yeah, just like wow.
That's your 5th.
Oh, and so this was a wild card. It has 2 of its own, and then I had 4, or I had 5 for the amount of players in the game.
Oh, you get 1 for every player in the game, and then you can use that as like a DM for every session.
Indeed.
All right. Cool. Understandable.
You know what? I want to do damage.
Even more damage.
We're going with it. My last Benny of the game. My last Benny of the group of the game, and I am going to get in just a shaken status against Brewsome. As the thing is trying to kill its creator. All right. Donsta, is you. Atlas, you're on deck. Donsta, you're good to go? You're not shaken?
All right. I am definitely moving away.
All right, Donsta, you move. Give me a vigor roll again, but this time no penalty.
Okay.
All right, you're fine. Take your action. You're moving through
I
the
am
mist
going
of this
to-
thing. All right, Donsta, it's in darkness now. Keep that in mind.
Oh yeah, because Don's had the light.
Oh,
Yeah, that's good.
I'll move where it's in.
Yeah,
in
I figured
line,
that.
But I want to shoot it with Earthen Shard.
Go for it. Remember to target
Are you
it.
kidding me? Did it hit?
It will, but you have to target the entity first. So target and then roll damage.
Do that. Oh, there you go. And damage.
Earthly Shard comes in. Ooh, this is going to do potentially a little bit. All right, this shakes the stew. It's magic, so it does get bumped. All right, Donsta, you moved, you did a thing, so I'm going to pass your turn to speed up the game. Atlas, it is on you.
From what we can tell, this thing only seems to get damaged by magical things, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so essentially I'm useless. Um,
You got any buffs or?
I do not.
So there are a couple things we can do here, Atlas, when you can't affect something. The main thing that help you out is to get the spell on you for smite, or we now do test. So a test is you use a skill, and you tell me how you use a skill, and the entity rolls the linked attribute. So say you want to throw dirt in its eyes. You would roll your athletics, which is throwing ability. Athletics is linked to strength, so it would roll its strength. And if you succeed, you can apply either distracted or vulnerable to it. Distracted means it gets -2 to all its rolls, and vulnerable means everyone gets +2 to hit it, to get a better chance of getting a critical hit. Or you can think something else you want to do. You can
I'll
aid a party
probably
member.
do something like that. I think I'll do something like that. Yeah. I think he'll do like exactly that. That's
So
all right.
you grab dirt and throw it in its face.
Yeah.
All right. Now, think about this. The range of these type of things with throwing is 3, 6, 9, and so you're actually 6 inches away. So you have to move forward, also potentially triggering the ability of the mist in the area. But your also current position is actually providing cover because it's going through Storm and Brewsome. So you're in a conundrum right now.
Yeah.
If you move closer, you have to do the vigor roll to potentially become sickened.
I mean, I think no matter what I want to do, I'm gonna have to move forward anyways. Like, if I want to help anyone, I'm gonna have to move forward towards them.
All right.
So, I'll just move, like, there.
All right, go ahead and give me an immediate vigor roll, no penalty. As you're moving through the demonic human stew mist. All right, you're good. And you can now go ahead and do the roll. So you want to do the thing I said about throwing dirt in its face?
Yeah, I think, well, Atlas, I don't think he'd really want to grab dirt. I think he'd more like pick up a good few, like maybe pebbles or stones that are around and just hit him directly in the head.
Go for it. All right. It actually is linked to agility, but I did say strength, so I'll use strength for time being. It's going to roll its strength. And you need to beat a... Ooh, I get a rose. Ooh, you have to beat an 11. A 10.
Ooh, that's painful.
Yeah, I got a rose on that.
I roll agility?
No, you're going to roll athletics.
Roll. Oh, athletics.
All right, so seeing how low athletics is, you can use a different roll if you want to. A different skill. So essentially, you roll a skill, and it rolls its linked attribute to that skill as the defense.
Just pick an attribute that makes sense, or skill that makes sense.
Yeah. I always try to think on how I can use this. The creature was more like its attention was currently on.
It's on Brewsome.
Yeah, it's on Brewsome.
Yeah.
So technically, he isn't like entirely noticed of the other people because he's aggravated at Brewsome.
Yes.
So could I technically use stealth to sort of try to like, you know, like I'm trying to sneak up and throw the pebbles at him to make him like vulnerable?
I'll give you this one. Go ahead and roll.
No
stealth?
penalties?
Nope. Just where we have based on the character, and this time I'm going to use the linked attribute, which is a D8. So it is linked to agility.
Yep.
All right. I'll let you roll first, and then I'll roll. All right, you got a 9, and I'm gonna roll a. Man, I'm rolling good. I'm rolling good. Sorry. It's not gonna work. I rolled an 18.
Jesus Christ.
So you try it, and it just looks in your direction.
You use that here and not like on an attack roll at least.
Just give it time.
All right, Atlas.
It's like
You moved,
gone.
you did an action, which means that it's gonna be your turn. Top of round 2 is gonna be. All right, picking a card for Haldir. Haldir goes from a 3 to a 7 of clubs. Dosta, you are in line. Does anyone want to use a Benny to get a better card, Gruesome? Because we'll have to be the 9 of clubs to go before my entity.
Yes, I would like to use Benny.
All right.
So I'll just spend a Benny.
Yep.
There's my Benny.
And you go from a 2 of diamonds to a 10 of spades. You got ahead of me! Yes, you did it. All right, Dosta, what do you want to do? Bruce, you're on deck.
Just gonna keep pummeling it with more shards of earth.
Go for it.
No, that's depending on that. And damage.
Ah!
Dang it.
All right. You hit it, but nothing occurs. Do you wish to... Oh, you didn't have any of that. All right. Do you wish to move, Dosta?
No, I'm gonna stay where I am.
Brucem, you are shaken. You need to unshake. Give me a spirit roll, good sir.
And I just got a pop-up thing here. Right, spirit, any modifiers?
Nope, base modifiers. All right, and you're out of bennies, which means Brucem, you can only move. You can't attack right now.
Okay. Then
Now,
I'm just gonna...
it is shaken, which means it can't do attack of opportunity, at least, because it is shaken itself.
Then I'm just going to stand here and pass my turn.
All right. To the human entity of Stew.
Whoa, wait a second. What about my turn?
It is before you.
Oh, right, because initiative re-rolls. My bad, I'm silly.
Brucem is going to do, at this point, a big attack. It is going to try to do more dice. It is doing 2 attacks against you, Brucem. So, here we go.
Here
2
we go.
bolt against you, 2 actions. It's a -3 this time for the bigger bolt. All right, that is a hit. First one against you, Brucem, is going to be nothing. The second result will be a miss. As it tries to spear you with its goo, nothing happens. It is going to now move.
Okay. Sorry, I forgot the turns reset. Whoopsie. Okay, like initiative. Brucem. Hi, Brucem, buddy. You didn't
Hi,
take any
Bill.
damage. And
Uh,
you know,
I'm fatigued and shaken, but no wounds.
you are fatigued. Man, yeah. So here's the thing, party. I sure do have a non-magical, basic short sword. So, I'm going to attempt to give you a little pat on the shoulder, Brucem, and heal you, but not with healing. Instead, with succor. Wish me luck.
Yeah.
Oh, should I roll faith, DM, instead of like the actual stat?
Yeah,
I don't
took
know
me
if
that
that's-
roll faith.
yeah. Okay. Ding dong. Alright. Faith spirit.
By the way, can anybody see the entity, or is it moved outside of range? Because I can't see it.
I cannot see it.
Okay, I'm just going to assume it's
Yeah.
outside of range.
Oh, wait. Whoopsie. I forgot to apply my, oops.
We'll do it retroactively. Go ahead and roll.
Wound and I forgot to apply a fatigue to myself. Okay, and then it'll also okay, so there. That
Alright,
is
that
a
will be a failure.
failure. Yes.
Which is a Benny.
Um. It's a great question. I think. You know what? I'll stick on. I'll hold on to my bet. I've already used 2 bennies, and I only have 2 left, so I'll stick on to my last one. Or my last 2.
Haldir, it is on you.
Alrighty, so I'm going to move, cast the spell, and then see if I can see him, take a shot. But if I can't, then nothing. So I cannot see him. So I'm gonna move here, and I'm gonna reach out and cast the Whirlwind Quiver on Gruesome and Atlas.
All right.
Because I'm not very strong at this, so, and with all my negatives, 2 people has a better shot than 3.
So add -2 to the roll.
We're gonna Benny that. Oh, I can't. Did I lose all my powers? Again?
No. This go down to 3.
I just.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I saw 2 1s, and I was like,
No,
what the
no.
hell?
No, this go down to 3.
Okay. Oh, here we go.
Oh,
Here
that
we
might do
go.
it. That's really gonna
Here
do
we
it.
go. Oh, that,
That is really gonna do it. All right.
Oh.
This means that both Brewsome and Atlas have +4 to the damage rolls right now, and it is magical weapons.
Does a raise do anything with Roll and Quiver?
+4
Yeah.
damage.
So it makes it if it succeeds, it's just +2, but if it raises, it's +4 damage.
Damn, pop off.
Right. And then that's my turn.
All right, Atlas, you have the ability to do a bit of damage now.
Okay. I think I'll attempt it.
What are you thinking?
So, I'm like, it's possible for me to do a bit of damage to it now?
Yes, you're magical. Your weapon is magical now.
Okay. So I think I'm gonna try and do that then. It's just I don't entirely know where it is though, which is a problem.
Yes, it is.
You know what direction?
I mean, I have an idea of where it went, but I don't know if that's as Mike. I don't know about.
Yeah.
So what you
we
can
don't
do,
know.
Atlas, so if you're gonna blade dance, you can go, but if you can't see it when you blade dance, we'll be at -4.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't even really know where it could be, so is there a way I could like try and figure out where it is, or do I need light?
I'll tell you how we'll do this. You have a torch, correct?
Nope.
Okay. So you can go on hold to where you can get another light source, or you can just move into the shadows, and because of your ability of being a blade dancer, if you just move past it, I'll let you do a -4 attack roll, and if you succeed and you're actually next to it, you will hit it. But you are running to the dark blade dancing.
Yeah. But if I blade dance from my current location, aren't I gonna hit the others?
Yes.
I think I'll hold. Cause
Hold you are.
I don't
I
want
mean,
to risk that.
Well,
Yeah, you're the last turn.
she's
in
the
initiative,
last.
but-
Yeah, she's the last one in the initiative. So maybe you could just like move to a different area, and then on the
Well,
next
the thing is-
round, then you.
She could get last next round, or if she stays on hold, she'll be first next round till all of you move.
Oh, so the hold goes
Yeah.
into the next round.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh. I thought it was till the end of the round, not
No,
till the next turn.
you hold until you stop being on hold.
Nice.
All right, so Haldir, you're drawing a card. It is going from a 2 of hearts to a 3 of spades. And I got the Joker! Yes!
Okay,
reroll.
that's...
You gotta keep reroll, and I can't roll anything lower than a 6.
Oh, okay. Draw a card. 10 of diamonds. All right, Atlas.
Oh.
Unfortunately, with the Joker, I go first no matter what.
That's fine.
All right, so luckily, though, it comes back into view.
Well, welcome back.
And it is going to continue its assault against Brewsome. All right, Brewsome, it is going to do 2 attacks against you. And this time, because of the Joker, it's going to get a bit of abilities. We're doing 2 attacks.
Please don't die, Brewsome.
I won't.
Wow.
Critical.
Oh,
All right, you stupid puddle. We'll do the second attack.
Wait, so it takes a wound? How does critical fail work?
It's just saying nothing
It-
goes on. It just doesn't do anything. All right.
It can't Benny a critical failure, so
Nope.
that's the best.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't have any ability
can't.
to do anything.
I'm gonna use a. That's just a hit. We're going for it. All right, we're attacking. We're going in. Damage. I am bending that. Last Benny again. Last Benny. Can I do anything? Son of a bitch. All right. Brewsome, you're surviving the assault by your fucking stew. Dante, you can go, or you can, or Alice can go if she wants to jump in now.
I'm not gonna go, but I'm gonna kind of like give Donsta a look of, if you can't kill it, you might want to get out of my way.
Well, I'll just move out of the way and try and kill it.
Dante, move over square away.
Yeah, I was about to
There
say
you
one square to the side does not help.
All right. Then I will do exactly what I did before. But let's see here. And... No, it does not hit. All right.
Dustin
Well,
added Benny's, which means it
open
now
this-
goes to Alice. You taking your turn?
Actually, could I
Um,
take 2? 2 turns?
Not anymore because you already did the roll.
All right. Yeah.
Getting to up
I'll
front.
take it.
Well, am I still gonna hit the 2 behind me if I'm going forward?
I'll say no.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I was
Then
okay
yeah,
with-
I'm gonna go.
Yeah. I'll start with
love
the
that
one
you-
next to you, not behind you.
Yeah.
I love how the symbolism is just, I'm going to go, and that is you using blade dance.
Yep. I don't know why I always forget how to target.
Hold Alt or double right click. Hold Alt, left click or double right click.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Plot your course.
And now I also have to remember how to do this. I really need to write down these controls somewhere.
Hold down control and drag from your token.
Thank you.
Horse and way anchor.
Whoops. And where's my weapon? Is what traits or modifiers are there?
-2 for blade dancing.
Okay.
That is a hit. Roll damage at +4.
Yeah, put on your
Plus
damage modifier.
4?
Click
Yep.
+4.
Ooh. Do you wish to Benny that? Yeah, you rolled a 3-3 on your 8 and a D4. And you just shook it.
Yeah.
So a good roll could I potentially kill it? Potentially.
Do I have to press +4 again when I Benny it, or is it automatically in
I
there?
don't know. Let's try it. You should need to.
Okay. Well, that was horrible.
It didn't include it. The second would have been a 9. It's actually less than your previous roll. Do you want to do one more Benny roll?
Sure, why not? So do I press it this time then if it
Do
didn't
you
count
do
before?
+4? Do +4 hit the Benny?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to click the +4 every
Hey.
That will do it with 1 wound. All right. Now, you just continue moving. You only move 2 squares, Alex. You want to continue moving, or is that good for you?
The enemy is shaken, so it can't do the opportunity attack. Yes.
No.
Okay. I think he's just gonna move back here. Because Atlas
You
likes
can't
his
backtrack.
distance from.
You have to go
Can't
above.
backtrack?
Nope.
Okay, I'll go above.
You murdered Thompson.
I was hold on, I was here, so I'll just. Can I move here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that's where I'll be.
Right, and then Haldir, it's on you.
Right, I'm just taking 2 shots at this guy.
Go for it. Can we kill the stew that was made by Brewsome? The stew daddy.
Benny.
Please do not call it that.
Oh.
Atlas, I love how we had a completely different reaction to that. I heard Stew Daddy and immediately went, right, that's going on my character sheet, it's becoming canon.
Oh my god. I'm gonna have nightmares about this damn thing.
It's about Stew Daddy.
Nice, Haldir, with a raise. Roll
Oh my
damage.
god.
Oh man, those rolls, but it's a wound.
Terrible damage.
That's a wound.
Did you got the plus?
And then I'll move. Or actually, I didn't say it, so I'll just say there. It's no big deal.
Soren, it is on you.
Is it hit?
It sure is.
It-
And I sure
Ignore what it
do
says. It's actually
sit.
incorrect. It has 1 more wound.
Okie doke.
Okay. So, yeah,
It'll do
about that.
Alright.
About it being on me. I don't have any magical weapons or means to do magical damage. And no one's taken any damage on my team that hasn't already been healed. So I'm going to attempt to use my sucker on myself.
Okay. You won't need to use any more, so we'll go to Brewsome. It's on you. You're still shaking, Brewsome, though. You have to unshake.
Yes, I do. I don't know what that pop-up's going to do, so what is that? Vigor.
Spirit, not vigor. It's spirit.
Oh, yeah. That's one there. There we go. And I forget any modifiers.
Nope, just your base modifiers.
Have a look-see.
Yep. So you're starting to see one of the big drawbacks of being injured. So, injured or fatigued.
Yeah.
Alright, so Bruce, you can move, but you can't do any actions.
How far can I move?
Right.
I think I can move 6. Yeah. Well,
Well,
yeah, I'm gonna move to be up in its face again.
Alright. Now, top of round 3, or 4, I should say. We're drawing a card for Haldir to an ace of spades. Alright.
Sweet. Well,
I'm using a Benny on my damn stew.
How many?
To a King of Diamonds. I have to use a Benny for it, though. So, I got no more Bennies.
I'm gonna move over so I don't have direct line of Brewsome, and then take my 2 shot. Terrible.
That is a
Second
miss.
shot.
You don't have any more bennies, correct?
Nope.
Everyone's out of Bennies except for you, Soren.
Terrible. Alright, that's my turn.
Alright, this boss fight of Stew.
I can't do anything.
Alright, can the Stew remove the check-in status?
Indeed, it can.
Plus, I kind of feel like either Brewsome or Atlas need to take out this stew anyways, so I'm okay with missing.
Well, I don't think Brewsome can. I don't think he has a weapon for it.
I have the magic axe. I was gonna ask,
Well,
am I able to hot switch in the middle of a battle?
Yes, you can.
Well,
Um,
you
yeah,
also
you
have
can attack.
All
Alright. It moves. It is going to do 2 attacks. One against Atlas, one against Brewsome.
Gruesome, you also have Whirlwind Quiver on your axe that you have now, so it'll work.
Right. Here comes the first bolt against Gruesome. It's actually a -2, so this is a miss. All right. And then the next attack against Atlas. All right. It's hurt. It sends out 2 bolts, but it completely misses. Donstein is on you.
All right, just keep pummeling it with more stone.
And then until something happens.
Yeah, until something happens.
That's a raise.
It looks like something may be about to happen.
Donstein might do it.
Indeed.
And a raise is raise damage.
There it is.
Donstein, I got no bennies. How do you want to kill it?
I want to drive a spike from underneath the ground and just drive it straight through the center of it.
It goes through the body and it just explodes in a giant mass of goo.
I'm going to use my athletics to dive out of the way of it.
All right. But that does end our combat. Good job, folks.
As combat is ended, Soren lets out an exhausted sigh and says, "So, what did we learn?" He says, looking at Gruesome.
That stew can make an incredible enemy and an excellent ally.
No, just the
You
first
hear
part.
an audible facepalm from Atlas.
Oh my god.
Atlas just stares at Brism and goes, I'm starting to question your idea of what you think a good ally is. Because that, my friend, is not one.
This is what it means to be a good ally. Soren says he comes over and casts Sucker on everybody. Who has active fatigue right now? I believe 3 people took active fatigue.
Not me.
Mine says I do, but I don't.
Well, we took 1
Gruesome.
fatigue from like the opening of the stew. 3 of us did. I don't know.
Gruesome has 1 fatigue and is shaken.
Okay, you can be shaken now since we're out of combat.
Oh.
So I'm going to be rolling this at -2 because I'm targeting 3 people with this.
No, -2.
Yep. Okay. So
Yeah, use yourself for fine. It already has the -1, which will be negated. So actually put in +1. Or the total penalties, just put in the penalties. We'll retroactively do it.
okay.
Altogether, it's -3.
Uh,
Actually, no, it's
Faith
actually
such
it's -2 actually. -2 +2, so actually it's a base roll technically.
Okay. Roll. Is that enough?
That would have been so you have fatigue. You're casting that, so it would have been 1 -2. Would have been a failure. You cast it again.
I see.
You just have to. You get potentially trigger the siphoning, or a backlash since you're since you're divine.
Back. Well, it's not a crit fail, so I might as well reroll it again or try it again. And I'm probably not gonna use a Benny until I crit fail.
Well, if you crit fail, you can't use a bendy.
Yeah.
Or
Well, if you
not
still
crit
want,
fail.
let's go die. Anyways, as he's doing this, we can continue on. What does everyone should do? As now the entity that was created by Gruesome mixing demon goo with a pot of stew made a demonic entity.
I mean,
Gruesome will say goodbye, old friend, and turn out and carry on.
Soren, that's a 1 on the skill die.
So I'll use a Benny. Yeah, I've been pretty unlucky this session. Yeah. I don't know what that means. Probably still doesn't go off.
Nope, can't activate it.
Well, damn. I guess we'll keep trying until I get lucky.
Those who want to move can move.
You want to just use reroll on the faith?
Yeah.
Yeah, for reroll. Still no bueno.
Altogether, you're at minus you're at minus 2
It's
total.
minus. Yeah. Okay. I'll try it again. You guys just see him over and over trying to like count. Yeah, there you go.
All right, that time we'll do it. So at this point, you can all remove your select gold.
Took him a hot second of focusing magical energy and a little bit of luck.
How dear. When you went to the rear of the building that you just were, you notice that there are 2 dwarven skeletons are along the ground, and the same thing. You notice from the other room, the backs of them have been severed. The spines have been severed by 4 distinct slashes. Almost like demons went through this place and killed a lot of people.
And there was nothing on the wall or
No.
laying about.
You've not encountered the same glyphs.
Okay.
All right. Those of you are now looking at a large stone door. It is locked, and you can see that this is a rather ornate door. This seems to be a room for a special individual.
Yeah, I would let them know. Hey guys, I found some more of those skeletons that we've met in the other room where that glyph was. So just keep your head up.
Did you crush their skulls?
I did
This-
not.
As we walk after chanting this energy, Soren's gonna pipe over. He's gonna be like, "Is anyone wounded still, or everyone good?"
Good.
I'm good.
Understandable. Someone's on standby. Little medic boy.
I say we give him like the fire axe, so that way he will have something to use in battle since everybody else has magical means.
Well, the axe is on fire, though.
What you want to do with the axe, sorry?
Well, since I casted the spell on you and Atlas, you guys have magical means, but Soren doesn't have anything that has magical means. Maybe he could use it.
What's
The magical great
what's your strength?
It's at 1d8, 1d10, something. I think it's 1d8.
If I remember right, this is a D6 to wield, but let me check that. And
My
somebody could
traits.
feel free to.
My strength is a d8. Yes.
Oh right, well you're
I know
fine.
it's higher than I know it's higher than a D6 because I wasn't able to use it.
Well, it's probably not a d10 because that would be like. Does anyone have a d10 with strength?
Me.
You. Okay, fair.
But I use a great axe. I know that's a D10. This is a
D8.
battle axe, so I think it's a D8.
Yeah, it's a D8.
Yeah, you're.
Is the DM okay?
Ooh. I said you're welcome to have it if you wish.
Okay, so you hand this young lad a giant battle axe.
A magical giant battle axe.
Magical giant battle
A
axe.
magical
I
battle
take-
axe that's not activated, so it does nothing at the moment besides be a normal battle axe. That is magical. But it does not count as a magical weapon yet.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Then never mind.
You need to be able to activate it.
Oh, do you not want the battle axe? I'm
It
kinda
might be
stood-
better than my current weapon, which is a short sword, which does a d6. So, sure,
Yes, it's a strength plus D8, so yeah.
that is better. I will take this non-magical magical battle axe. And you see him like he holds it a little bit, hefting it, and like doing a little bit of testing. He clearly looks like he just doesn't really like to wield battle axes. Maybe it's because he becomes from more of like a knight culture, and like that's why he likes swords more. But nods like, all right, I can probably make this work.
Do you have a shield, Soren?
I do not. In my
I
inventory,
have-
anyway.
I have a medium shield that I would like to give you that you can use with your battle axe. Should you use it,
On
if
second
you're able
thought,
to use it.
DM, how would I know? How does masterful weapon work, or how does that one feature work?
So
It gives me one weapon that like or trademark weapon.
check real quick. Yeah, your trademark weapon is only for swords and sabers, so you wouldn't be able to get it with the axe.
Okay. I shake my head and say I probably am better with the sword anyway, honestly. Uh, and with that, I'm gonna hand you the battle axe back, and instead I'm going to keep my sword because that gives me +1 parry and +1 to my rolls.
In
And
that case, I reach back into my bag and turn back to the medium shield and offer you it.
yeah, that said, yeah, medium shield. I'll be a sword and shield gamer. I'll take the shield.
There you go. Do you know how to add it to your inventory?
I probably can figure it out.
Roll space and then type in
Quick
medium.
access. I'm assuming I added into that section.
Well, click, hold Control space, and then type in medium shield, and then drag it. It'll come up and just drag it onto your character sheet.
Okay.
All right. By this door, what do y'all wish to do?
I would like to roll. And I need to get rid of my flesh stew now that it's been defeated. Right. I would like to roll common knowledge to see if I have any knowledge of what this door might lead to or why it's here.
Can I touch the door to see if it feels warmer?
It does not feel warmer. Common knowledge roll, Boosum, you can roll.
No modifiers on the roll?
You don't know until I tell you.
Okay, there's a roll.
Sorry about that. I didn't mean to click that.
That, Boosum, is a fail. It's up to you if you wish to use a Benny or not, which I don't think you even have. So, no, it is a fail.
I know nothing about this door. It's a door.
But it
can I
just seemed to
attempt
be a little bit ornate.
Can I attempt a common knowledge roll, DM, or is this like outside of the sphere of knowledge?
You can attempt it, but you're probably going to get massive penalties since you're, one, young, and not anything that deals with dwarves.
Understandable. What sort of penalty are we looking at?
I won't tell you. You roll, and I will retroactively let you know if you pass or fail.
Understandable.
Because if I tell you, you would know kind of the
The difficulty.
yeah, the nature of what might be there. As it is, you do fail, just by a low roll. What does anyone else wish to possibly do?
I'm gonna check the door for traps.
Notice roll.
Now
It'll be the
that-
same thing. I'm not going to tell you the difficulty.
Can I do that as well?
You help out. So one of you be the main roller, and then you can give the other one a bonus. So Donsta, do you wish to be the main roller or the assistant?
He's definitely the main roller. He's got a higher one than me.
Okay, then go ahead and roll, and we will give him potential up to a 7. All right, so he actually rolled a total of a 6 with a difficulty of a 4 with a -2. You succeed, Donsta, in noticing that this door does indeed have a slight trap. It is a actual noxious gas trap.
Oh,
Okay.
wait.
Are you telling me it's a human stew trap?
It is not a human stew trap, no.
So how do you disarm traps? Or
The
thievery?
thievery skill.
Oh yeah, I don't have
Right.
that. I will defer to somebody else.
Quick
Nope.
question. Just to make sure. Has everyone removed their fatigue?
Mm-hmm.
Because I saw Donsta still had that, or Haldir still had that in his roll.
Yeah,
Other stuff.
I
Yeah,
do
that's-
still have
it's
my
just for
fatigue. Let me
mechanic reasons.
remove that. There you go.
It's not actual fatigue. It's just fatigue for mechanical reasons.
Okay, my bad. Yeah, with that, because yeah, you told me that earlier. Duh. With that, I also do not have the thievery skill, so.
I take it we're all backing away from this door because none of us dare open to try it.
Yeah.
So you said Bruce will like, you got that stone earlier. Maybe you can try opening it. And maybe your stone will protect you.
Yeah, you
Actively
have
backing
it
away.
goes against poison though.
You know, you make a good point, Soren. What
Get everyone back up. He's just like to Dawn Atlas.
what kind of door is this? Is this a stone or a wooden door?
It's a stone door.
Ah, okay. Never mind. In that case, you said it's locked, yes?
It is indeed locked.
Okay. In that case, I would like to. I believe it's going to be untrained because I don't have thievery.
That is true.
Yeah. And I'm going to have my stone on the ready. Yeah, that's good. About right.
It's fine. You'll crit on the 4s 4 times in a row.
Do you have lockpicks? Does anyone have lockpicks?
Nope.
It is a minus
Using it with wood.
further 2. But luckily, this was no difficulty, so you actually succeed, Bruce, in picklocking this door.
Fantastic.
Was that the picklock or was that to disarm?
Yeah.
That was to attempt to open it. I'm just going to take the trap.
Okay.
Oh,
In that case,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm like, hey guys, maybe you should back up. To specifically to Donsta and Atlas, who are still standing nearly next to it.
No, fine.
that's not that near.
That's not like you, Atlas.
Still like 4 or 5.
You can open that door, Brewsome.
Alright. I guess I open the door and get knocked out without what? Yep.
Fine, he's got the advantage. He'll probably survive.
That's what you sound like as you get hit from the trap.
Yeah, I was gonna say the gas is already taking effect.
Alright, I want someone to go ahead and roll me a d20.
I'll roll it.
I roll terrible.
Aw.
I'm the nat
15 or
20.
more is actually good. Alright, Brewsome, this means the trap is still actually in effect. So, as you open the door, a gas pumps out. Go ahead, Brewsome, and give me a vigor roll at -4.
Vigor -4. Do I use the stone now or once I get hit by this? Or
It's a Benny, so you can roll, and then if you fail, you can use the Benny for it.
okay.
For free.
But you succeed, as it is. So you just powered through this. It's a dwarven concoction. You're a dwarf. Maybe you're fine with this. You are not affected by it.
It's probably also because I've spent so long around that damned stew.
You put an immunity.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Like,
Extra vigorous.
how long does it take like Spurs DM so we can enter unaffected?
It's very, very quick. So after a couple moments, it does dissipate.
Yeah, Sword just says, "Huh, it's one of the smartest ideas I've ever had." He says as he like comes up to, Brewsome, who's not dead, surprisingly.
Told you that stew would come in useful, one way or another.
All right.
Once again, very deadpan, annoyed, unamused expression from Alice.
I'm gonna keep it honest. I don't think you should use the words "useful" and "that stew" ever again in like the same sentence.
Well, like, it might be useful to get rid of that stew. Anyway, we have a room to discuss.
Anyway, yeah, there's like a deadpan stare now from Storm.
Right, but the door's open. You can enter into the room. You can't see anything because you have no damn torch.
Exactly. And the game is paused.
Oh, my apologies.
Yep, that
Right.
too.
Oh, excellent. There's a dead person. I love dead people.
That is not something that you want to say when you enter a room. Atlas like casually just walking up, and the first thing he hears is, "Oh, excellent, a dead person," and he just slowly starts inching away again. Like,
You
Yeah,
know-
that doesn't look like a good person.
If only you had the stew, you'd have another edition.
oh my god.
Because we got Dotson in the front, we're good. Put our squishy mage right in front.
The battle is still on! You come to take her home! I think not! As this big dwarven individual, clearly a spirit, has in his hand grasped a big mallet. and he goes to lunge at you, Brewsome, as he screams, "I will not live to an adventure in my home!" And as he goes to swing, the hammer goes striking down. Go ahead and give me a agility roll, Brewsome.
Ah, my favorite stat.
There's
My
a no.
favorite stat.
Okay. So, you watch as the hammer comes swinging down towards your head. And as it does, it goes through your body and strikes the ground. And you feel an immediate chill run through your body as a coldness seeps into your very, very bones. And he again screams, "Us Ironpikes have survived for eons! We will not let the Dwarven stronghold fall!" As he is filled with rage. What do all of you do?
Can I attempt to communicate to him in Dwarven and attempt to calm him down?
Absolutely. How do you want to calm him down?
I suppose having just had a hammer swung at me, I really chill, man. The battle is won. You have, you can. I don't know. You may rest, soldier. Actually, his beard. How many coils are there in it? Not coils, but you know what I mean.
No braids,
No braids. No braids.
but a long
is
beard.
So long beard, no braids.
But again, this is an ancient dwarven stronghold, so this might be before the frost dwarves took in the braided caste system.
Right. Is there any indication on him at all as to rank that I might recognize?
Not that you can see. But before we
No,
go any
but-
further, give me a persuasion roll.
Okie dokie, let me find persuasion. I've never used this before, so I don't know what is that. Oh, it's a fantastic roll.
Wah.
No! You tried to elude my eyes. You deceived me. You're not a dwarf. A dwarf will not attack me. Will not invade our home. And you see that this figure is in his, probably his death state when he died. Probably a warrior, a fighter that died fighting for this home. And he goes to keep on swinging to the first person who's here, the first one he can see, but he's still Brewsome. But you see that his hammer connects with you, Brewsome, because you can't defend against it because it's just a spirit. But the blade, or not the blade, but the hammer goes through your body, and it strikes. But when it strikes the ground, you can see the spectral ghost of cracks in the ground, and you feel the cold in your body when the hammer does strike. And you see the rage, you see the tears in his eyes as he's going, "I will not let our home fall!" What do the rest of you do?
Soren's gonna step forward, being the most persuasive group, and he's gonna look at this ghostly man with a small head shake as he says, "You're long past dead, sir. I'm afraid that when they raided the stronghold, either you must have died, or maybe you died of old age. I don't really know, but what I do know is that it's long past. It's been centuries, maybe longer, since this fight, and you need to rest now as a spirit."
Go ahead and give me a persuasion roll at -2.
Okay, so just one because my beauty
Yeah.
feat? Okay. That is a D10.
Damn, D10 in persuasion.
I believe so. Wait,
You do not have
it's
a
a
10
D6?
persuasion.
I thought we raised that to be my highest.
But then
Or a D8.
your hindrances dropped it back down.
Which hindrance?
The young.
I thought we dropped.
We can move things
athletics.
about. We did drop athletics.
Oh, I thought no, but yeah, I thought athletics is what we decided to drop in. Yeah.
Yeah, I dropped more than athletics.
Yeah, athletics and writing was.
I just want to get rid of writing. All right, let's see.
Yeah, writing and athletics.
If we get rid of writing, we did drop athletics already. We can raise your persuasion from a d6. You still can't raise it. It's still too many points.
I see. Huh. I didn't know that. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, we'll go with this for now. Apologies. Yeah. This can be at -1. Unfortunate. I'm going to spend a Benny. My last.
Oh, we went through every single Benny of the session. Damn. All right. As it is,
Literally no difference. All right.
all of you try and you can't, as this dwarven spirit is here defending his home. And as he is here, he yells out, I won't let us fall. If we fall, I will take everyone here. I will not let the demons take our heart. I will not let this happen. And as he yells this, he starts a prayer. And as he is doing this prayer, you are witnessing as dwarven runes start to glow all about the walls. Every single walled surface of this place starts to alight in dwarven script. And it's getting brighter and brighter, and you are feeling a very, very bassy thrum of energy that is starting to form upon this entire area. And it is that where I will end today's session.
Nice.
Well, there we go.
Okay. Well, there you go.
I mean, I will say, fighting the human stew is probably better than anything that we could have done with it.
Throwing it away is the best thing we could have done with it, but we didn't throw it away. Instead, we have to fight it.
The stew gained sentience.